hate puppies.
It's good podcast.
I feel threatened.
Insert stew line.
Hello.
Yeah. Hey, let's get the ball rolling.
There it is. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside
You
the
can't
Pallet
do that
House.
to me.
Fumble right out of the gate.
He was
Opening
not expecting
kickoff fumble.
Yeah, he was not expecting that pass.
I had it, but I didn't. Then I lost it.
Yeah, that happens. Honestly, man, I think it's time that we redo that intro.
Yeah.
Sorry for killing it.
I think it's about time. No, not that. I mean, the whole damn thing.
It is hard to. We put Stu on the line every week, so I mean that's hard.
Yeah, and I definitely want to get rid of my opening thing.
You've hated that since day one, and you made the damn thing.
I literally sat there and was like, ooh, sick burn.
Sick burn, me. I'll show you what you had coming.
Yeah.
What? Hold on.
Sucks to suck, nerd. Yeah, it didn't go well. But, I mean, I think it is about time because Ely should be the one who has to give a line.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Can you imagine? Can you can you imagine the shit show if we all had to come up with something right off the top of our head every time?
Be a disaster.
It could be good.
I say that, but we come up with this pretty much off the top of our head every week. So
Yeah, I look up, it says Finger Hut. I'd be like, welcome to the Finger Hut. That's a good,
yeah.
There you go. No, I can actually think of a million things I've said that have embarrassed me on the show that I could just repeat.
Yeah.
I'm doing this for
That always works.
7 years almost. Oh, wait.
6.
No, now we're in 7, right?
We're starting our 7th year.
Because it's April.
Yep.
Oh, happy anniversary.
Yeah.
Damn.
We threw the 1 year anniversary and haven't done shit since. Every year we're like, we're going to do something, and we never do.
I didn't even realize that. But yeah, happy anniversary, guys. We've done it again. Another trip around the
congrats.
sun. Talking into microphones, and numbers are still the same.
Are we going to stop? Didn't we say last year we were going to stop?
We were right before stupid COVID made us do this more.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It's tough out there.
I'm just glad we got people through the COVID.
It's not over
Did we?
yet.
I think we did. I think we had a few people that said they enjoyed.
Our fucking
Listening.
ratings and reviews don't tell us that.
Oh, God. Did that just crush everyone else's ears out
I hope so. Assholes.
God, my ear's bleeding. But I like your attitude, Troy.
Yeah.
That was
Spot on.
very aggressive. Yeah, I know what you're saying, though. Our ratings and reviews are not, they haven't grown very much.
No, not at all. Embarrassingly low, actually.
Doing it forever. I actually got something up my sleeve to get us more listens.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
Why wait till year 7 to bring that out?
Well, something just came out. There's a company out there that's doing something, but I'm currently on the wait list and being reviewed.
Oh, okay.
We have the number one amount of bots.
No, this wouldn't be bots. This would actually literally be a way where, say, you turn someone onto the show, right? And then they share it with people, and those people listen. For every 5 people that listen, they'd get $5. And it would just go right into their account.
This is your idea? This is a thing?
This is a thing.
You know Bernie Madoff just died in prison for a Ponzi scheme?
This is a podcast scheme. It's different.
Spelt totally different.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you get the gist.
Right.
Yeah, you're on the right track. Damn.
You throw in $200, and then you get your friends. Hold on, wait, what?
No, it's literally it's a thing where if somebody shares it, they just share like the link through a site, and it like tags. So every download that
You'll
happens,
get a lot of people to share, but you won't get a lot of people to actually listen.
Yeah, they have to listen.
Yeah,
they have to listen. But so,
is this kind of like FanDuel's enticing ad where you place a bet? If the first one to make a bucket, you get $5. Doesn't matter who.
Basically, what they're saying is don't look at it like I'm going to share it with my buddy and then I'm going to think of another buddy. It's like encourage somebody to go on Facebook or send out a mass email and go, hey, this is a really funny episode of these guys I dig. Check them out. And for every 5 people they hit, you get $5 up to $100 is the cap I would put because it's going to come out of our pockets.
Oh, okay.
There's the catch.
I was wondering who paid for
I was
this.
like, where's the $5 coming from?
We pay for it.
Okay.
It's just this company will let you sign up, and then they provide.
Well, this is my last episode, guys. I really appreciate hanging out.
No, you're not paying. I honestly, with the dregs that listen to this show, I feel like we'd be lucky to lose $5 on this.
Yeah. For sure.
So I'm going through the
I don't know.
process of getting us signed up.
Oh, okay.
Good.
So that's what. But they've honestly waitlisted me, and they're like reviewing.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, you bastards.
Some asshole figured a way to like just download 10 episodes and start it when he goes to bed and just have his phone playing over on the side.
Fine, $10. Our downloads are up 10.
Yeah.
See, and honestly, the hope is that it costs us thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
And-
that's the hope.
Which then in turns rolls into ads from other companies for
That's exactly
our
it.
podcast.
Well, I get that part.
When you get to a certain point, we can start recouping the other way.
And then HR steps in and shuts us down.
Everyone, who the hell is HR?
Everyone always seems impressed with our numbers except the ad people. Like
'Cause they want
tens of thousands.
it's 20,000 downloads an episode, and then they start kicking you money.
Really?
Every episode, every episode has to have unique 20,000 like that week it comes
Yeah.
out. If you don't hit that,
The week it comes out.
the week it comes
Oh,
out.
wow.
Look, we are
We're
the
not even close to that.
we're the Rudy of podcasts. We just don't give up.
I don't even think we're the Rudy of podcasts. I
Yeah.
just think we're the Rudy.
Yeah.
Like,
We're the water boy for podcasts on that Rudy team.
yeah. Bobby Boucher's Rudy.
Isn't he redoing Waterboy again? There's a sequel coming out. I saw.
Tell me
Really?
he's not.
Yeah,
Why?
I can't remember. I saw a little blurb about a bunch of movies. Adam Sandler was one of them that was redoing like 2 or 3 of his original movies as a sequel, making sequels for
You know,
him.
he'll make sequels. He doesn't have to redo them because he's owned every inch
Yeah.
of his movies since the beginning. He was the smartest dude out there. He
Yeah.
took his first paycheck and
He's
then
making bank.
started a production company
Yeah.
and got another one and started another. He basically cornered the market on everything that a movie has to touch, and then he was like, nailed it, and then just started churning movies.
Oh, and then he's like, yeah, let's go shoot in Hawaii with all my friends. That'll be fun.
oh yeah, the
Yeah.
parents stuff. What's that called?
Parenthood,
No, grown-ups.
grown-ups,
Grown-ups.
He,
Yeah.
Well, 51st dates. Like, he only does, like, he's only in sweet locations. He's not like,
But he doesn't even have to like get a lot of money
no.
for the movie because he's just like, hey, look who won. Happy Madison Productions won the
Yep.
production. Oh, look who won the sound development. Look, it's all his company. So he's like, yeah, I'll take $1 million.
I've seen those guys, like, they'll be like, you know, all his buddies that are in all the movies. Not all the
Yeah.
bigwig guys, but, like, they'll be like, yeah, he bought us a Rolex after we did this movie.
Yeah, it says
Bought each of us a Rolex.
he's doing a Billy Madison too.
I'll watch that.
I'll watch it, but it's not going to be good.
No, but I wouldn't watch Waterboy 2.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I barely got through. It's like, ooh, Mr. Deeds 2. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Well, for
I
your
don't know why I'm so aggressive about Mr. Deeds. That actually was, you underestimate my sneakiness. that dude was hilarious.
Yeah.
In fact, that dude was the funniest dude in the whole movie.
For sure.
What's his name? Anyway.
well, he's the guy that was in
Oh, that's
Uh,
it's Jesus from Big Lebowski. What's his name?
and
He's
he was also in
everything.
Transformers. He was the
Yeah, I
It's,
don't
God.
know his name, though. Azaria?
No, that's Hank
That's
Azaria.
Hank.
Here, I'll get you.
Tortello, John
But
John
that,
something.
That dude's hilarious.
Everybody's yelling at us right now.
When
It's
he-
John Tor something. That's it. But I can't.
John Torres Shorts. Oh, man.
John Tor. You're right. John Turturro.
Totoro.
Totoro.
There it is.
John Totoro.
Totoro.
But he's also, for the kids out there, he's doing a Hotel Transylvania 4.
Those are good movies.
The cartoons.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not bad. Dude, speaking of tore shorts, dude, I tore. This has been a weird week for me on tearing shorts. Yeah, this is not
Multiple
on,
weeks of
not on the topic
Not-
list.
yeah, we're just going off script here.
But all right, I got this pair of shorts that I love, and they're like totally indescript shorts. I bought them in a surf shop one day because I was looking for shorts. This was the whole qualifier when I was looking for shorts. I want shorts that have the little tiny pocket like Dickies do. You know, like,
For your
Dickies-
change?
Yeah.
Dickies have a pocket
Yeah.
down on the inseam about.
Tiny cargo pocket.
Yeah, but so it doesn't bulge out. It doesn't have
Yeah.
a flap. It's just a little slit. You can like drop your crap in there. Well, you'd be shocked how handy that little pocket
Yeah.
is. Be it for a little knife or like whatever you're
A
grabbing
key,
a lot.
A credit card.
If you're doing something, a screwdriver sits in
Yeah.
it beautifully. like and then or your phone even if you really. But I was like that was the only qualifier. I was like I want a pair of shorts has the little Dickies thing, but I don't want them to be Dickies. I don't want baggy.
Oversized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure enough, I'm in this surf shop one day. there's this pair of shorts, and they're like $30, and I try them on. And I'm like, hell yeah! And they're a little bit shorter than they should be, almost like a pair of chubbies.
Yeah.
But with the little pocket, I was like, this is the baddest short ever. You look inside, brand name, nothing. Literally no brand name.
Weird.
No identifying characteristic on a single tag. Nothing.
No size, no nothing.
There, it has the size. It says like made in Thailand. The size.
The
Period.
end.
There's no
that's it.
branding at all. And if there was any kind of branding, I would have bought these shorts in every color
Yeah.
because I loved them. And so I've been very gentle with these shorts for like 6-7 years.
Is this local?
No,
surf
I was
shop?
in Folly
Yeah,
Beach.
the surf shop right there in
Yeah.
Midlothian.
Carytown.
Yeah, mid-low waves.
Yeah.
No, I just happened to be in Folly Beach. I walked in this place. I was like, holy crap, they're the best.
Okay.
So I'm wearing these shorts this weekend. I was working on something, and I just put my leg up on some logs, and the whole shorts just exploded. Bam! And I was like, no! Like they just split right down. And I come walking in, and like my wife's like, what did you do? And I was like, I lifted my leg. Like, I don't know what happened. Like I just lifted my leg up. Shorts exploded all down the right side.
Not even like in the inseam. Like,
No, dead center.
Oh, wow.
Right at the fat of the thigh.
So wait, I missed it for a second. Were these like khaki shorts?
Well, they're blue, but that's kind of the
Same
fabric.
material?
Yeah, very light though.
Okay.
Very light. Best shorts you ever had. Amazing.
Held
So the
together,
things
held together
just-
by 2 stitches.
The things explode, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn. Then I put on a pair of boxers the other day, and I just like squatted down. I hear the, and then my balls are swinging around, and I'm like, oh man. I was like, come on, dude.
All right,
So like,
you got to
so-
come to terms with the fact I think you're just getting bigger.
something's up, right? Something's up. So I threw the shorts in the trash can in my office, and then I, like 2 days later, I tore my underwear, and I was like, damn it. Took off that pair of underwear, and I was like, no, they're ruined. And I threw them in there, and then
filling trash cans with old fabric.
yeah. So now I've got a pair of shorts, a pair of underwear in there, and then just yesterday. So this started on Sunday was the first tear. Today is Thursday.
That's day 5.
Yeah.
Tore another pair on Tuesday, and then tore another pair last night of underwear.
So this is every other day, basically.
I was basically I did the same thing. I sat down and then, but this time I wasn't in anything. Like I had just put the underwear on, so it was all I was wearing, and I was like, I sat down and then boom, there it was again.
And
Like,
these are boxers.
yeah, boxers.
I thought you were doing the Tommy John boxer brief thing.
I can't afford Tommy John,
No,
so,
me either.
so I only wear them Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah.
And like I just kind of rotate. So when I can get to the point where I can have them every day,
If you can wear Tommy Johns every day, you live a charmed life.
I ordered 2 pair this week, and I was like, boy, that was $80.
Yeah.
Like what are they doing?
Yep.
It's ridiculous. But after I tore 2 pairs of underwear, I was like, all right, I got to replace them with something. So I bought 2 pairs.
I had 4 pairs and they didn't last me in a year.
So
They're so comfortable. They're just not tough. I don't think they are.
I'm wearing a pair of medium ones right now that are literally choking the breath out of me. Because when I first started, they were like medium goes to this size and then large goes from there. But it's like I was the end of medium, the beginning of large.
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
ordered a pair of mediums. It's
Poor choice.
brutal. I mean, I may as well just like get packaging tape, rub it around my nuts, and be like, there we go. Like I don't care how soft the fabric is.
Yeah.
If it's that tight, it's uncomfortable. But so last night I emptied my trash because it was trash day today. And when I dumped out my trash, it was like
It was like a
couple
wardrobe.
wadded up piece of paper, a pair of shorts, 2 pairs of underwear. I was like, it's been a rough week for me.
Damn.
And I do think I am gaining
Half my
weight.
wardrobe's gone.
Yeah, it was not a good look. So I think you may be right. I may be getting bigger. I just saw my first scale.
I don't think so. You don't look any bigger.
I don't look bigger, but I just found out today I'm 13 pounds heavier than when the pandemic started.
Well, I think most people are.
That's
Yeah.
what is it, the freshman 15?
COVID.
COVID 15?
No, it's COVID-19.
COVID-19.
Yeah.
You did well then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm beating the odds.
Yeah, you're ahead of the curve.
I'm beating the odds. Look at me. But I'm still going through
It's about to be
undergarments.
business suit weather, though.
Not for me.
Just splits his bathing
Yeah.
suit.
Kids are screaming, running left
beanbag
and right.
just flopping around in the pool.
That Dong Sarong is going to be holding on for dear
Oh
life.
no!
That thing's gonna be screaming.
I convinced my wife to get the Dong Sarong version for women.
Nice,
So she's going to have the denim bikini, and I'm going to have the Dong Sarong. It's
nice.
going to be a good year tubing.
We went to an adult pool party in our
Ooh,
neighborhood.
sounds kinky.
And I convinced my wife to wear my dong sarong as a bottom with a tankini top. It was quite the hit.
Probably looked awesome.
It looked great.
Yeah, on
Damn.
her, I bet
Yeah,
it looks
on her,
really
yeah.
good.
Not on me.
You should see it on me with the muffin top hanging out.
Yep.
And I don't know these milky white thighs are hairy.
Yeah. And they never see the sun.
And they've never seen a razor.
Yeah.
Like I've been
But your
growing.
calves you keep smooth.
Absolutely. Yeah, there is
You and your wife and both dogs are wrongs. All I can picture is the fact that you've booked a session at Glamour Shots.
Oh my gosh.
Sears.
Yeah.
That thought makes it, dude. JCPenney. I can't afford Sears. Dude, this is the best idea I've ever heard. Boudoir shots and denim speedos.
Christmas card
Oh.
material.
Yeah.
I have got to cut at least a pound. I'm gonna do like a 1-day juice cleanse.
Yeah, there you
Oh.
go.
Shredded. Have you ever done a juice cleanse?
No, but I've been interested to.
You ever done one, Stu?
No, I haven't done
Aren't they
that.
like 14 days of basically just drinking?
Well, you can do a 3-day cleanse. Is like the minimum like recommended
Yeah.
by a hippie. Like
Yeah, you got to go to a hippie for this.
oh, this is a hippie.
Do
thing.
not lean on science.
No. I'm gonna put a crystal in my vagina and
Yeah.
drink juice for 3 days. I mean, that's
Because there was one going around where it was like apple cider vinegar and
nah,
like
I don't want that one.
and cinnamon and like it was weird sounding.
Yeah, I don't want to clean the toilet that much. I want to do like.
You
But
lose a ton of weight. You're constantly shitting and puking.
you guys want to
Weird.
do a 3-day juice cleanse?
I don't know.
I don't know. That'd be tough, man.
Hey, you know who would do it
No.
is the Duke.
I bet the Duke would do a juice cleanse.
Well,
with me.
tell me. I mean, you're just asking. Would you like to do it? I don't even know. Like, what are you drinking? Apple juice the whole time? What are you drinking?
No, cold pressed hippie juice.
Okay.
It's just fruits and vegetables and vitamins.
Fruits and
liquid
vegetables. Yeah, it's
for
just
3 to 10 days.
liquid eating
So you're just taking fruits and vegetables and
in a jug.
juicer.
Yeah.
and
No,
just,
dude, you got to get the cold pressed hippie stuff. They
Oh, you sell it but you're not making it.
no, I'm not gonna make it.
Okay.
Like they swear
Sounds
Yeah.
cheap.
by these. Oh God, no. God, no. No.
You could have eaten out 47 times.
No, I bet it's probably between $50 and $100 for 3 days of food. I mean,
Yeah.
cold pressed juice, and then that's your meal. That's it. That's all you eat for 3 days is juice.
Yeah, cold press sipping spree.
Does it have like the dates on it? Like, does it have like 3 day, 7 day, 14 day? Like,
there's. I mean, the quick one is 3 days, and it tells you exactly.
Do I lose weight? Because I got to get in. I'm looking for a quick fix. I'm not going to like change my lifestyle.
you got to lose weight, but it can't be a healthy way to
It's
do
just
it.
not a. Well, it's 3 days is more just flushing out your inside.
Toxins?
You're not.
don't
You're
have
not doing.
toxins.
You're not getting rid of weight in 3 days.
Okay, I don't have toxins in me. I have fat. I am toxin free.
Doesn't flush fat away?
Toss me a Miller Lite, bro.
Yeah. Did you ever see that SNL skit Super Colon Blow? That's
Yes.
basically what
Oh,
you're, that's
yeah.
basically what you're doing.
Oh, so you drink it on the toilet?
So I'm not going to cut any weight. Stu, you're doing your research. There's no weight loss if I do
Not in
a
the
juice-
3 days. I haven't gotten to the 10-day cleanse. I'm just looking at.
I mean,
a 3-day cleanse,
not
but
eating
yeah.
for 3 days has got to help
Gotta
you cut some
help.
weight.
Well, you're losing all your water weight to begin with, and you're flushing out your colon. You probably got like at least 3 pounds of shit stacked in you at any given time.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
Get the scale out.
Oh my gosh, that's kind of just grab my Yeti bucket. And let's see how much is really in there.
Back out the 100 ounces of juice. We've got 300 ounces.
Yeah, you do have to subtract
Yeah,
the weight of
yeah.
the juice. I think that's a fair science experiment. The Duke does sound like he's perfect.
I think we have an outline of bullet points for the Duke. What to do, how to measure, where to go.
You know how like certain group of guys will bet each other weird things? I know there's a group of guys out there that have done something like that.
See who can drop
Yeah.
the most Duke
Yeah.
in 3 days. I don't want any part of that. That's not. Could you imagine your wife finds your bucket?
Why's your Yeti bucket sitting next to the toilet? Don't lift the lid.
Please don't lift the lid.
Do not lift that lid.
That's
That right there, that's a juice cleanse of sorts.
My doctor's asking for it. Yes, I agree. It's weird, but listen, he's the doctor. I'm gonna do what he says.
He said I need to bring him 5-gallon sample.
He said fill the cup, and he brought this from around his back, and I was like, whatever, dude.
Never expected by day 2 I'd be getting another bucket.
just like the Home Depot bucket. It's just painted white. It's clean. It's like medical
Perfect
grade.
bucket.
There you go. This is your specimen cup.
I think I want to do it. I think I'm gonna do a 3-day juice cleanse.
That'd be hard, dude.
I wonder how many listeners would join us
On a juice cleanse?
on a 3-day.
Being that most of them won't click the rate button, I'm going to say none of them are going to go through hell for 3 days for our entertainment.
I think the Duke would do it. I think the Abacus might do it. Joe the chef would literally eat the buckets. So he won't do it. He's like, I'm doing a juice cleanse by proxy. You're going to save that, right?
This says the most is on an average 3-day cleanse because what you're dropping is anywhere between 4 and 7 pounds.
Boom. I'd be back in the game.
Yeah.
Quick fix. And then after that.
And then you start eating again.
No, but then after that, because I bet you a salad is filling as shit with a little bit of chicken after you haven't eaten anything but juice for 3 days.
Yeah.
I bet that's an easy way to get rid of like a lot of those crazy cravings and move into salad range.
What you got to do is do the 3-day cleanse like right before the weekend, so you look good for the weekend, then eat for a couple days, and then do it again.
Oh, this is a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday cleanse. Right during the work week, really push it. But I don't want to, ruin my weekend.
No.
I don't know.
You want to stay busy, too. Like, you can go a long time without eating if you're, like, doing something fun.
But I'm not fasting. I'm going to drink those, little
That's
bottles
not
of
going to
juice.
count as eating.
It says if you're doing it yourself, you'll spend about $20 a day on juices.
I said between $40 and $60. There
Or
you
you can pay for these high-end juices to already come to you for like $192 for like a 3-day.
$192 for 3 days of misery?
Slight difference.
This is not good.
Drink 6 juices a day for 3 days.
Ooh, 6 juices? This is getting easier. That's a lot of food.
Can I save them and do them all in one day?
18 juices.
And for the Duke, you got to leave one on the counter for a month and try it later.
Yeah. So that's
See what happens.
No doubt.
That adds up. All right.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
This is
So you would not do one with me?
I don't think I could, man. I mean, I think probably the longest I've ever gone without eating is like 24 hours.
Oh, I've never gone 24 hours without eating. This would be totally foreign to me.
Yeah.
No booze, no nothing, just juice.
Why don't you-
Ooh, carrots.
yeah, that's I don't know.
It's going to suck if you buy the stuff and then take the first sip and hate it.
I promise you I'm going to hate it. Because I don't even like V8. And this is cold pressed hippie juice.
Yeah.
This is going to be bad. I actually this came in my mind because I got a client or a potential client, and I was sent the website because one of my reps was like, "Hey, check this out."
And it's for the hippie juice?
It's just this hippie who does this stuff in Greenville, South Carolina, and she was like, she's going to be selling this stuff, and she's going to be getting into all these stores, and they needed help with marketing. And I was looking at it, and it just got me thinking today. I was like, ooh, I'd always talked about that. I've never done it. I think I'm gonna do it now that we're sitting here and we're talking about it. I think I'm gonna do it. I'm just looking for a partner.
Yeah, with a little bit more research here, it's looking like you're going 18 total 16-ounce bottles. So that's 6 a day.
What, one every couple hours, every 2 to 3 hours?
Yeah, keep that hunger at bay. I won't be hungry at all.
16 ounces
I will never crave a burger
a
during
day
that whole thing.
for 3 days. I don't know.
This is coming from a guy who's fat right now on a mac and cheese bacon burger. I literally just ate that. So I'm like, right now I'm feeling very satiated. I'm not hungry at all.
Yeah,
I could totally do it. I ate an hour ago.
It would totally be fine. Hey,
Yeah.
can I get one of those, Troy?
Yeah.
had the French dip from Wood and Iron earlier. That was
Always good. Thank you, buddy.
with the fries and I did get some broccoli because I was trying to stay healthy.
Went
Yeah,
out.
that's what you got to do.
Went out with the wife to. She had a work happy hour the other day to Scott's Edition. I haven't been out there in forever and a day.
Yeah, the one
And,
out there.
Well, we passed it, but there was a winery out there called like Brambley Park or something.
My wife loves that place.
Dude, that
What
place
that?
is crazy.
She goes up there about once a month, sits outside, hangs out with her friends for like a little daytime, little hangout. The hell was that?
That's the beer that I was supposed to have.
You
Gotta-
literally just pulled an empty
There's
beer,
a beer with it's got a hole in it somewhere
empty can.
because it has not been open. But yeah, that place is cool, man. I guess if you like wine, check it out. But it was like
My wife swears by it.
it's tucked back up in a corner and doesn't like you don't really feel like
She
you're in
says
the
when
city.
you get in the back of it, where the whole
Yeah.
it really
Yeah.
feels like a little winery.
yeah.
Sounds pretty
Huh.
sweet.
Dude,
It
there's
backs right up to the train tracks, but like you don't even see where it is. Like it's so tucked up in there.
I like that.
Speaking of train tracks, I was at Mainline Brewery.
Okay, I
been
don't
there.
know it.
It's right where Hardywood is downtown. Like literally,
Okay, O&B Lane.
yeah, right before you get to Hardywood on the right hand side.
Nice.
Isn't Mainline a drug reference?
Isn't that how you like do heroin or
Yeah,
something?
yeah. That's
Yeah.
what I like initially thought of. But I guess like
But
it's
the
a train
The
reference.
stage literally is like the stage for where the band is, and the brewery is like right on the train track. So it's
You could-
Mainline. That's what they're talking about for the.
I
train
guess it's
station.
better than track marks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but,
Guys. Gotta squash track marks. But how about Mainline? Sold.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
it's
I don't
funny
know. I
'cause-
was leaning towards train spotting.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys haven't been, I'd love to have you guys go there and give me your opinion. But for me, and for some more people I know, not very good beer.
That's
I'm
most
sold.
all these places.
I was just like,
That's
there's
most
good-
all these
there's some
places.
good breweries.
And I don't like. There's got to be like a bell curve for these breweries. Like I'm happy to see Scott's Edition, which if you've been in Richmond for 20 years or more, you know it was a shithole rat dump.
I mean, it was a little stabby, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, it was hella stabby. I mean, it was. It's cool to see it succeeding and getting better, but like at some point, like it's cool to have 2 breweries or 4 or whatever that. But there's got to be a number where it's like too many. Like you can't go to all of them. Like
Yeah.
you got to be you got to be taking customers from each other at some point.
Oh, no doubt.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's a ton of them down there now.
Yeah. It is pretty. It's pretty saturated.
Yeah.
But
People want to live there because I just got a buyer that's looking at a house right there on Lee Street in Scott's Edition, 1,700 square feet. It's going to go for almost $400,000.
we just had literally, and Stu, you probably would know about this. Have you ever sent a letter to someone's house as an agent saying, "Hey, sight unseen, here's the offer"? Like,
Yeah, we'd like to move into a neighborhood.
yeah.
Like this is where we want to be. If there's and you make several copies of that letter, you disseminate it out, and it's like I've got a buyer who wants to move in here. We're not really concerned about the footprint of the house. Maybe, I mean, to specifically target a house, yes, people do that. I haven't had a buyer yet.
Yeah, I'm
that's
assuming
like
it was
saying,
more of a form letter you got.
Sure, but I think they were looking for the ones with the certain because it
Yeah.
said your square footage, lot, location.
Yep.
This is what we're looking for.
That's how bad the market. Not bad, but that's how low.
They were like, we're willing to pay up to X.
Mhm.
So what do you got?
Yep.
And and my wife came out and was like, "What do you think of this?" Troy got actually
Yeah,
got
I
to see
walked
it,
in on it.
and I was like, "It's probably one of
Yep.
the better things you can walk in on between a husband and
Says
wife."
you.
Yeah. I could think of a dozen things that I would have rather walked in on.
Troy's like, I got my contacts in. I'm good to go. Let's see what's going on.
No, in all seriousness, it was awkward as shit walking in on you two going, "Do you want to move? I don't want to move. Do you want to move? I don't want you to move. Do you want to move?" I'm like, Jesus, get me out of here.
Here's my professional advice. And I've told a few people this. If you're actually looking to sell right now, it's the best time to sell. But
Sure.
if you can sell and move into an apartment or rent something,
Exactly what Brendan said.
that's
Oh, that's precisely what I said
Yeah.
to my wife.
Sell right
I said,
now,
if you want to
rent
take
for a
it
second.
and pocket all that money and just move into an apartment, I was like, I would consider this. But she goes, no, if we were going to take that money, we'd upgrade. I go, I'm
You're
not
not going to be able
interested.
to.
You're not making
You're not
any
gonna be
money.
able to.
I'm not interested at all.
You're going to put yourself in the same market to where you're trying to find something,
Yep.
and there aren't any houses.
I mean, but the thought of building a new pallet house, I was like, that sounds sweet. I need a new bar. That's why
So
you sell a
let's
house.
start
Actually,
over.
Yeah.
Sell the house, move
Burn
in.
it down.
If you could sell the house and let the new owners let you live in the pallet house for a little bit while you search.
Yeah, me out there in my torn underwear in the yard, deucing in a bucket, doing a juice cleanse. Yeah, this is what they want. This is
Yeti bucket's full.
I think another 2-3 days of this, and I'll stop splitting underwear. Good news for y'all. Hope you like the house. We picked that paint color ourselves.
You could live
It's a nightmare.
as a dude. You could live in here though.
100%.
Yeah.
Now you would need a bathroom, obviously, but like
I got a Yeti bucket. I thought we covered this in the first 10 minutes.
this many square foot, you could easily live in.
Oh, this
Oh,
is
yeah.
This is what, 500 square feet?
Under
6,
4 and
Four
change.
and change. Yeah.
It's beaut. It's a beaut.
It's a beaut.
You put this in certain parts of downtown Richmond, it goes for maybe $200,000.
Yep.
Yeah, you put this in Midlothian, it goes for 15. But yeah, I don't know. It was just I've never gotten hit up like that. Oh, dude.
It's crazy.
Speaking of getting hit up, I had a weird moment in time. Maybe this neighborhood. Maybe it is time to get out of this neighborhood.
Uh-oh.
I was like, I like to walk my kids to the bus stop. Like it's just
That's normal.
I enjoy that.
Yeah.
I actually enjoy that little bit of time in the morning where I get to just walk down there and we have kid conversations.
Yeah.
You know, and kid conversations are fun because I'll tell you, you know who my jokes hit with?
Kids.
10-year-olds. My jokes hit.
My kids hate my jokes. They're like, whatever, dad joke. They don't. They mock me.
My kids laugh and then go, "Oh, I laughed at a dad joke." They still laugh.
I heard the best dad joke the other day. What did the socks say to the pants?
What did the socks say to the pants?
No idea.
Sup, britches?
That's horrible.
Exactly.
That is horrible.
All I know is I'm picturing you walking up to the school bus stop, and you're like Mr. Mom. You're the one dude who's getting invited back to go watch soap operas.
Which I would be down for, but no one ever invites me.
That's a shame.
Quite heartbreaking. The only lady who comes out there, I thought for the longest time she was like an au pair. Like I didn't think she really like spoke very much English based on the conversations we had.
Yeah.
Like little brief ones. Turns out she's just a little bit socially awkward.
She just doesn't like talk to you.
Yeah, and in that time of the morning, she's just dresses in
Yeah.
like traditional Russian garb.
Nice.
Like tends to be the
And Brendan, that time of the morning, is a little scary.
yeah. But then she started like
His ripped underwear, walking out with his coffee cup.
She started coming out in her car though now, and like her car is worth like as much as my house. And then I saw her husband the other day, and he's in this beautiful Jaguar, and I'm like, the fuck am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
Like these people are doing it. Like they got it going on. But that's
You could have the one car instead of the 5.
Oh, the beauty is I pull up like if it's raining, I pull up in an 85 4Runner.
Yeah.
Like today I was at a country club in the 85 4Runner, and I'm just like, look at all these Lexuses. Mine's a Toyota too.
Yeah. We have a lot in common.
Yeah,
Fine
exactly.
tasting vehicles.
I was sitting at a country club today in a Dickies jacket and pulled up in an 85 4Runner with a cherry bomb muffler.
Nice.
And I come walking out there like, oh God.
Somebody walks into Brendan. Hey, the HVAC's not working in the men's
Yeah, I was
bathroom.
gonna
Can you, can you go check on that for us?
So glad you're here, sir. Grease trap is full.
Yeah, green over on 14 is really spotty. I need you to get over there and knock it down.
Brendan's like, no, I'm just here for the Gophers.
I was just here to pick up an extra bucket.
Mine's full.
But no, so I'm at the bus stop, right? And the bus comes and picks up the kids and they leave. And then it's always kind of a pleasant time of morning. I'm walking back by myself, sipping coffee. All the cars are waving at you. Everybody's in a good mood. Like it's the only time I get a good neighborhood feel. Like when you're out walking, everyone's waving and very jovial. And I'm like, this is great. So there's this like old man shuffling towards me, you know, and he sees my kids get on the bus, and he's kind of like a creepy looking dude, you know.
Yeah.
Truth be
As
told.
most old guys are.
Yeah, and he just
We have that to look forward to.
but the look on him, like kind of disheveled.
Have you seen the mirror lately?
I don't know what you're talking about.
As he pulls up his rip boxers.
Exactly.
I'm confused.
What's wrong?
Bro, I've only gone through 3 pairs of shorts in 5 days. Like, what are you getting at?
What's your point?
So my kids get on the bus. It pulls away. And then this dude's not all that far from me, right? And he drops the old, he says, you know what the loneliest day is? And I'm thinking, okay, he's gonna kind of
Drop some knowledge on it,
commiserate with me about like beautiful kids, like enjoy it.
Growing up.
Yeah, enjoy it
Moving
while you
on,
can. I'm
yeah.
glad to see you're doing this.
He drops a D-Day reference on you.
Dude, it got weirder. It got weirder than a D-Day reference. So he says, you know what the loneliest day is? And I'm waiting for this kind of like heartfelt moment.
The
you
day
know?
your kids go off to college. Something like that.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And then he says, the day your daughter joins the CIA and you never get to talk to her again.
Jeez. What the hell?
And I'm like,
what does that even mean?
yeah, no, exactly. I'm like, oh, he goes, yeah, they won't even let me know where she is. I've been calling. They won't tell me nothing.
Whoa.
And I'm like,
So there's either two things. It's either the truth or she just wants to be away
Or
from
he's
him.
senile.
nah, dude. Then he says,
I don't think that's how the CIA works.
no, and then he says, she killed some people last week, so I know she's killing people. And I'm thinking, you just said
That
you don't
doesn't check
have,
out.
you don't have
Yeah,
any
yeah.
contact with her. So how the hell do you know?
I get all the field reports, though.
And this is the guy who's walking up watching the kids get on the bus?
Precisely
Yeah.
why my
Yeah.
spidey sense is now going
already,
off,
yeah.
right? I'm like, what the hell? And then I'm sitting there holding my coffee cup, and I'm like keeping my distance because
Yeah.
COVID and what?
Yeah.
Back up, weirdo.
You're thinking, do I need to bash you upside the head with this coffee cup?
So then he walks up closer to me, and he looks in my coffee cup and goes, "What's in the cup?" And then I go,
I mean,
"Coffee."
at what, 8:30 in the morning? What do you think it is, dude?
I go, coffee.
What's the brown liquid in your
Yeah.
mug at 8:30 in the morning?
He- and
Well,
then-
tomorrow Brendan gets to say it's my juice cleanse.
Well, then
Yeah.
he says, I already had my coffee. It'd be a lot cooler if it was beer. And I'm like, yeah. And then,
Be a lot cooler is not something a guy at his age would say.
yeah, it's true. I'm probably making him cooler than it was something to that effect.
Okay.
Though. Like
Be
should
better,
have
yeah.
should have been a beer.
Yeah.
Should have been
All right,
alcohol.
you sound a little McConaughey.
Yeah, I was going to say
there.
the
I just
same
got-
okay.
thing.
I just watched Dazed and Confused again
Okay.
the other
Yeah,
night.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it is-
cooler if you did.
Yeah, but so he looks in my cup and then asks me basically, do you have alcohol in your cup? And then he's like, we should get a drink. I'm like,
Now?
bro, it is 9 a.m.
On a Thursday.
I just put my kids on the bus.
so
Now-
you are good to have a beer now.
But he said, like, and then I'm like, I shouldn't have worn the Dickies jacket. Like, not the best look. But so this guy comes up to me.
Brendan's
starts,
like, I truly don't want to be one of you.
Yeah.
yeah, then he starts talking about the CIA and how his daughter's gone, and I'm going to miss my daughters when they're off killing people in foreign lands. And then he asked me if I want to go get drunk
That's
at
when the
9
morning.
a.m.
That's when the morning beer starts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I
Dude,
was
that
like,
is a weird.
yeah, and I said, I gotta get back to work. Like I can't do that. And I go, would be. I think I did say something back like, man, I wish it was Miller time or something.
Yeah.
And then I just started walking away, and he's just kind of staring at me as I'm walking away, and I'm like, holy shit. And then there's this little devil, right? This little devil on my shoulder, like, you should go have beers with that dude, see what happens. Like,
Yeah.
because this dude's obviously insane.
Then the little angel's going.
Actually, the worst thing you should have gone back and had a beer with him wherever he came from instead of letting him watch you.
I was gonna
walk
say,
into your house.
The little angel's going. Don't walk directly to your house right now.
Yeah.
Go serpentine
Well-
down another street.
He did stand there for a little bit, and I kind of was like walking slow, and then he started walking, and he just headed out towards the main road.
Just gonna walk in the traffic.
And so by the time he got out to the main road, I got back to my street, and,
and
he
that's when
was
all the squealing tires and wreck.
Yeah.
no, he just turned off like he was headed towards the Shamrock or something.
Where did he even come from?
I don't know, but he was in the neighborhood. He was coming down this way, starts talking.
Never
about,
seen him before.
Never seen him before. But now I'm like, there's a creep. You know, like there's a drunk creep.
Well, there's
who's-
creeps everywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
don't look on the sex offender
And who's
registry.
Oh, I know.
And
I
who's
know.
to say that he's even in this neighborhood? He probably be just walking through, going back to wherever he came from
Who knows, man?
from the previous night before.
Well, and he could have been in the CIA.
Yeah.
Could have been John Bourne.
He's got contacts.
It was very interesting.
He knows people.
You know what the loneliest day is? When your daughter joins the CIA and disappears and won't let you talk to her. What?
The
She's-
worst part
she kills
is
people.
he's probably making all that up, and then that makes it even worse because he's literally
He's
crazy.
insane.
Yeah,
That's the
Yeah.
whole. There's nothing like the smell of napalm in the morning.
Yeah. Because have you ever had a beer with a dude like that?
when I was in
That's-
college at VCU, I had this one fraternity brother, and we would sit out on the front stoop of our fraternity house, which was right in the mix of everything, and we would just drunks and homeless people and mentally ill people and whatever they were, they would just wander up and down. They'd always ask for money or cigarette or beer.
Yeah.
And my one buddy JJ would always just invite him up onto the porch,
Strike
give
up
him
a
a
conversation.
cigarette, give him a beer, and we would just talk to him for an hour or two and just like, tell me your story. And it was just like,
Yeah.
it was like sitting down and watching a movie that you had no,
Yeah.
That's called a life education, a world education, right there.
We had a guy in high school, and he was this old man. He lived in an actual shed, like not all that far from the high school, in a yard. He was renting somebody's tin shed. Like,
Wow.
This is where he lived. There was a hot plate in it. There was a bed. There was a nightstand. And this dude would buy you beer. If you would see him up at the 7-Eleven,
yeah.
you'd be like, hey, buddy, I'll buy you a 6-pack if you buy me a 6-pack.
Yeah.
And he would always, hook it up. But there were a couple times where we didn't have anywhere to go drink said 6-pack.
Oh, is that where the Powerhouse idea came from?
Yeah.
I've been drinking in this shed for a long time.
So there were times where, like a couple of us would go back there, and he was a harmless old kook. Like,
Yeah.
fortunately, thank God, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
thank God.
I could have gotten killed or any
Yeah.
number of things. But he would sit there and go off on his weird conspiracy theory tangents
Yeah.
and drink beer with him. And, you'd get through that. You'd split that 6-pack with your buddy and be like, all right, we are out of here.
Yeah.
I kind of think that everybody, I mean, at least I would imagine everybody knew one like old crazy guy who hung out near, and you could always get him to get you beer or liquor.
Yeah, and he'd hook you up.
Yeah, it'd hook you up. I mean,
And so, but
I
you
a
had
guy-
to you had to hang out a little bit too. To,
You
like,
had to
stay in
pay him
his
with your
good-
time.
Yeah, you had to kind of
Yeah.
stay in
A
his
couple
good
beers
graces.
in your time.
Now, could you imagine you're a 60-year-old dude and you're just like, yeah, I'm hanging out with these 16-year-old guys who could kill me.
So weird.
Could
Yeah.
kill me at
Yeah.
any moment. They're like youthful and strong, and I'm
Yeah.
this decrepit old man.
The
But
guy's like, I like the guy with the split britches.
I am really trending in the wrong direction. There was one night I remember I was walking along.
I just keep picturing Herbert the pervert from Family. Want to come in my basement for a popsicle?
Yeah.
He's always got that little whistle in his voice.
Reach down in my pants pocket and grab a quarter.
You gonna go get the newspaper for me?
I remember there was one night I was walking with my wife. We were in downtown D.C. We were walking along, and there was this guy, and he kept hitting me up for money, and he was kind of being a little persistent, but
Like
not
following you down the sidewalk.
yeah, but not like. At least he wasn't saying the same thing over and over, and he was kind of like changing his story. Like he wasn't trying to scam us.
Yeah.
He was just like, man, I really need some money, guys. Like this would really help me out. Like anything you can spare would be great. I was like, what are you gonna buy with it? And he's like, I'm just gonna get some food. And I was like, don't lie to me, man. Don't bullshit a bullshitter. Like walk with me, talk
Yeah.
with me. What are you gonna buy with it? And he's like, I just want to drink, man. I just want to drink. I said, then how about this? And I turned to my wife and I was like, hey, honey, you care if we take this guy to that bar? She was like, I don't care. I was like, all right, cool. So
So
Bought him a drink.
he wasn't that bad off. You could take him inside somewhere.
you would have, I thought.
Uh huh.
Uh-oh.
So we walk in the bar, right, with dude in tow.
Yeah.
Walk in the bar.
Bar-
Little
bar-
neighborhood bartender yells.
Bartender's
Yeah.
like,
Yells at
Get out.
immediately. Yells at him. I told you not to come back in here. And he's all like, kind of like sheepishly, like,
I'm with them.
They said I could. And I was like, yeah, man, he's with me. We were gonna get a drink. The bartender goes, all right, man, your dime. So we sit down at the bar. I'm like, what are you going to take? He's like, bourbon and Coke. I was like, how about a double? And he's like, yeah. Like, perfect. 3 bourbon and Cokes. We all sit there and we drink and we have a conversation with him. Honestly, the dude had like pretty good story. Like pretty normal dude when you got to it. We ended up ordering a second round because it was going well.
Okay.
And then
went back to the hotel room. I see where this is going.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we talked about selling our house. So he walked in on it. He ended up. I saw his hand started shaking, and I'm like, I thought you got your drink. Like, what's up with that? Like, and he's like, I got bigger problems than drinking.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I was like, buddy,
can't help you there.
I was like, I can't support that. I was like, you can finish that drink. I'll pay the tab. I was like, you go find that money you need. I was like, but I ain't the one. And he was like, thank you so much. He's like, I get back out there. And he went back out to get his drug money, but like I wasn't gonna give him. Yeah, I'm willing to support the drug I do.
Yeah,
you know, like I'm
down for that.
Yeah, you can have drugs with me that I choose, but you can't have my money to go get heroin or whatever it is. You know, you're hooked on. But yeah, I saw that hand start shaking. I was like, damn, dude, I'm sorry. I was like, you should really, like heartfelt, like you should really work on that. And he's like, I know, I'm trying.
Right after I get my next hit.
Yeah, but I'm not giving you the money for it. You know, you can have a couple bourbon and Cokes. And
I remember after being downtown for a year, walking around Richmond, I mean, you couldn't walk 2 blocks without somebody hitting you up.
Yep.
And me and my buddy Mike were walking down the street one day, and this dude, like, started walking with us, and he, like, in, like, 30 seconds, he just regaled this story that was, like, nothing you'd ever heard. And we were like, holy shit. My buddy Mike's like, dude, here's $2 just for that. That was entertaining. Like, whatever that was, like, you wove a story that was entertainment. So I'll pay you for your time.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. I mean, I've told you guys about the Jello pudding pops guy who looked like Coke. I would pay that dude, like, gladly, and I'd hang out with that dude a little.
But you hate the guy who's like, I need $20 to get gas in my car to make it home with my family. Like, you're a straight liar.
Yeah, I'm furious with you.
Yeah.
There was a guy named Daryl, used to be homeless in Carytown, and when Pat and I lived right next to each other in Carytown, we would often have nights where we'd be up, all night, and we could walk to the McDonald's, and as soon as they opened, you could get food. And Daryl would always sleep around there or be shuffling around that area. Daryl became our sausage McMuffin guy because we'd be like, Daryl, what's up, man? I was like, hey, we're going to McDonald's. You want a biscuit?
Yeah.
And he'd always be like, yeah, man, thank you guys so much. And so he was just a dude that we would buy breakfast for fairly regularly whenever we happened upon him. And we were on one of these like all night benders, like, hey buddy, you want a biscuit? Damn right I do.
Yeah, man. $4.
And he was great because he never bothered us, never talked to us, never anything.
And he's not expecting anything from anybody.
No, and he was happy to be given food, which again I love to support the things that I'm into, like sausage, egg, and cheese biscuits are dope.
Fast food.
Yes, that dude ate a lot of biscuits on our dime, and that's a good dollar.
Yeah,
at least you know where it's going.
Yep,
that's a good start to Daryl's day.
Because you always see these follow-up stories the news does where you get somebody because I think I saw where like the average peddler sitting on the corner asking for change rakes in about $60,000 a year.
Well, in certain places, yes.
Well, just right in general, and then you have
like you see like the subway guys in New York, they make good money.
Yeah,
right. And then you have the ones that are faking, the ones that are out there.
Oh, yeah, we've all seen the 2020s where like they follow the guy back to his like
Lexus.
Yeah, he jumps in and goes to his suburban home. Like,
screw you, dude.
That's a low moral standard you have there.
Like there's easier ways to make a buck. Like that it's not even easy to hustle like that. Like I understand that you don't have to show up on time, but it's not an easy gig.
Yeah, I don't think I could look that rough.
I wouldn't take that money to stand in the middle of a street all day.
Like let you ride, Stu. I let you ride. We're this close to the deli. I didn't want to start beating on him. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Where's that?
Oh, you know what? They're back here. You guys talk.
Where's that indecent proposal?
So what is the deli? So you got to pull it up?
No, actually, because you guys said it and I didn't write it down. So I'm
classic
behind the
stew.
curve.
I know it's a Dogfish Head.
That's what it was.
It is something Sunday, if I remember correctly.
Is it
Sunday
Yeah, Sunday
Feels.
Feels.
Sunday Fields, not the campfire?
It is 6.5. So that's pretty good.
Oh, I didn't
Nice.
realize it was that. That's a strong one, huh? My bad.
Yeah.
guys. I didn't look. I was in a rush.
What's
Let's see.
Ale
Called it
brewed
a
with
beer mosa.
A beer
I can't
mosa.
even say that word.
Do we need a bottle opener, or is this going to twist off?
Ale brewed with something grape juice, peaches, blood oranges, lemon, oranges, and lime peel.
And it sounds interesting.
So it has citrus.
Is it
Orange. It's got oranges.
Oh, orange isn't a citrus fruit.
No, orange is the only citrus.
Oh, that's right. They went the other
Yeah.
way. I forgot.
All right. There is a whole story going on in this label. In
So-
the picture,
Oh, it actually looks awesome.
So this is the Off-Centered Art series featuring Ryan Besch, Besch.
yeah.
So they've been doing. I've seen this. They'll get local artists to design their labels, and they're actually usually pretty cool.
I like this one.
is good.
I mean,
yeah,
it's
this one
got
looks
like
cool.
a donkey inner tube filled with ice and a couple of beers, surrounded by sharks floating in the water. Sunday Feels.
And the donkey's drinking what looks to be like a orange peel glass pint.
So they called it a beer mosa, which immediately piqued my interest. You know, Dogfish Head does a good job with beers.
They do a lot of good beers.
They do a lot of good beers. I was like, okay, a beer mosa, not familiar with it, but it's going to be tart. So
Yeah.
I assume the first sip's going to suck. It's funny. I'm like Pavlov's dog.
Yeah.
My mouth is salivating.
Yeah.
I haven't sipped it.
Don't.
Oh, no.
Don't.
Oh, no.
Well, you know, Stu, he only likes the sweetest of sweet. Like, in every test we've ever done, he only likes the most sacchary sweet artificial flavoring. Oh, we all sipped it at the same. Wow,
What the?
that just was. Woo!
Okay.
That went up my nose. Ugh.
Oh, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Oh.
Put that in your mouth.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is a good way to get rid of that guy that was following at the bus stop.
Yeah. Hey, buddy, I got
What's in your
beers.
cup?
Yeah.
What's in your cup?
Here you go. Have this. Okay, I'm going to go. You're a little weird.
There's a lot going on in that.
Oh.
Is there
A
wine in
whole
there?
lot.
Is there wine in there?
It could be. I'm not a wine drinker, but it could be. There's like flavors coming out of every direction.
I'm
here.
actually I'm 2 sips in. I had the same reaction as Stu for the initial sip. I'm starting to get more excited though because I'm starting to find the flavors even through my Invisalign.
Ah,
You know when you're dipping and the fiberglass is chewing the inside of your lip away?
Okay, yeah.
That's kind of what this beer is doing.
That's not a ringing endorsement.
the third sip is 80% less tart than the first one for sure. The first one punched me directly in the face.
I'm having a love-hate relationship right now.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Like it's creating mucus. This is not good for me.
This is how every juice cleanse starts.
That's
The
right.
Sunday
Yeah.
Feels.
Stu, you want to go first?
I don't see how he can have an. I can't. I'm nowhere near an opinion yet. A Sunday
on
Feels is
one
a
second, hang on
weird.
one
He
second.
has an opinion.
Yeah.
That's why I was letting him go first. You
That's
and I are
true.
still trying to figure it out.
It's true. Stu makes opinions very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But he can wait. I'm not trying to force him into it.
100% artwork, full point. Love it.
Cool colors on it, too.
Yeah. I mean, an inflatable donkey with beers being surrounded by a shark.
Is there wine in there?
You asked. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm trying to.
Would it say it has wine?
It doesn't say anything.
It says grape juice. Some V word. I can't say it.
Viognier? Does it have a G in it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Viognier.
Viognier. I'll be
Vignette,
damned.
vignette.
So that sounds like a wine, right?
It's a wine grape. It is the grape of Virginia.
That's what you're.
Yep.
No. Is the Viognier grape the grape of
I
Virginia?
don't know. I just said I don't drink wine.
Yeah, look at that. Ale brewed with Viognier grape juice, peaches, blood orange,
Yep.
lemon, oranges, and lime peel.
Yeah, I just found the whole.
So blood orange, lemon, oranges, and lime peel.
No, it says blood orange.
It's
Okay, yeah.
It's peaches.
Is it oranges and lime peel, as in orange peel and lime peel?
A lot going
Who
on in
knows?
there. I taste the wine. I kind of dig the wine taste.
This
That
says that the flavors are tart peach, orange, and mimosa-esque with bright citrus, champagne, hazy straws.
Mimosas
Yeah, it's
are orange juice and champagne, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm digging this now. I'm starting to really come around.
Oh, now that you know it has wine, you're all
No,
in.
no, no. Now that
And it's the Virginia wine. You're all in.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I think that's starting to come around. Like the tartness has gone away and is starting to develop its own flavor. That's why I didn't want to pass judgment too early, because it really is changing.
It
And
really
it's become,
is.
Now it's mellow, and it's like now it has a flavor profile.
Yeah.
Whereas at the beginning it was a hodgepodge of citrus and grapes
Yeah.
coming at me. I was like, what is
I
happening?
mean, I'd agree with you after like 3 sips. It's kind of
it totally
it
mellows
goes
out.
away, but I'm still not really digging it.
Well, yeah, a lot of people aren't going to dig this at all.
I guess.
No, it's tart. It's
Yeah.
even when it's mellow, it's tart. Like it's not on the sweet end of the spectrum at all.
Yeah. And that, I would say it doesn't disappear. I can still taste it.
Oh, there's a lot going on. All right.
Minutes after.
All right, well, Stu, I think you've had enough time now.
I'm
where
gonna-
it's marinated.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I'm going to give it a 2.5. Actually, I'm going to give it a whole point.
So it's a 1.5 without the art.
Correct.
Boy,
Wow.
Because I just don't.
that
I
is
mean,
not
it is
good.
For me, it's getting like, I'm getting throaty. Like it's coating the roof of my mouth. It's coating my entire mouth. I can't get rid of the sour taste. It's got a crazy flavor.
Sour taste is legitimately there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all there, but I feel like I'm.
It's really tart.
That's a sour beer, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how
Which
am
I
I saying
wouldn't-
it's a mimosa?
I
Yes,
don't get. I don't
get
taste
that.
that. Yeah.
It's that grape and the orange. That's the mimosa.
Yeah, but there's orange in a lot of beer that
Yeah.
doesn't.
But there's not grape in a lot of beers. That's how they're calling it, the beer mosa.
You know what doesn't have grape in it?
Mimosas.
Mimosas.
That's not accurate.
It's exactly accurate.
Is
Champagne
a
a grape.
wine.
I
Yeah.
understand that,
That's great.
but it's not what they're doing here.
It's a white wine. Champagne and Prosecco are white wines. They're just sweet white wines, dry white wines.
This is
This is grape juice,
Yeah.
which grape juice is not a wine.
No, I'm just saying that's how they're equating it to a mimosa, because it does have grape juice in it. I'm not saying
But grape juice to me is that grape flavor.
I mean,
I just don't know how they're. So
yeah, I'll give you that.
I'll give the grapes
Again, I'm not a sommelier, so don't take
Yeah.
my word on any wine I've had.
I'm not a smaller.
I'm not
What?
like the wine I've ever had. So
What's in your cup?
Yeah, see, I like wine, so that's probably
Yeah.
why I'm gonna gravitate a little more towards it. But it's not wine; it just tasted like there was wine going
it doesn't
on.
taste like a beer. I'll give you that.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
But I will say this: like as you drink it, that like all those initial flavors, all that shock of the sour, even the citrus that popped out right when I first drank it. As I'm taking more of it, it all just kind of dissipates because one, my mouth is coated with flavor, and I'm losing it. So I wouldn't drink.
But you're still 2.5.
I'm still 2.5 because I'll give it. It's somebody offered it to me. Yes, thank you very much. I'll have it because you're giving it to me.
Yeah.
I'll give it a point for the artwork and the idea behind it because that's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
But,
it's definitely not like take 3 pulls, sit it down, and walk away or pour it out.
No.
Like it's not that.
No,
No, this is.
Unless you really hate sour beers.
Oh no! If you don't like sour beers, this is a nightmare.
Yeah.
yeah. I know someone who would like it. I might steal one to take it to her.
One of these is going to my wife as
Your
well.
daughter is 15, and that's not really cool, dude. But okay.
Dude, she's following her dad. She's a claw girl.
I
We'll talk about that in a second. I gotta.
I like this beer, but the first sip is really pungent. But I don't know if I'm going more than 2.5 either. Like maybe 3, but I'll stick with a 2.5. Like I'm really not impressed with it. Like it's not.
Would you agree with me that you wouldn't buy it?
I definitely wouldn't buy it.
Yeah.
There's better sour beers out there. Dogfish Head's not cheap.
No.
They have other good sours that I like better. They have other beers that I like better. So I wouldn't seek this out. But I also wouldn't do a spit take and pour it out and smash a bottle over somebody's
Per
head.
their own website, it says they're averaging $5 a can
I'm going to
on the price.
go the opposite direction than you guys on this beer. Now that I will 100%.
Well, we haven't said it. We've split it down the middle, so the opposite direction could be either way.
Yeah, this is a 1. No, I'm just kidding. No, because you guys are 2.5.
Yeah.
Right. So I could give it a 5 and it'll never get a deli. Like
Yeah.
we literally can't. So I feel emboldened to just rate it however I see fit, which is I guess what I always do. That's
I would hope that
really doesn't change. Yeah, it really doesn't change.
So this week, after 6
this week
years
I'll
of
tell the
doing it,
truth.
yes.
Yeah. No. All right. So, truth be told, I agreed with you guys on the first 3 sips. I was like, "There's too much going on." There was clearly a little bit of grape, which was odd, and it was a ton of citrus, and a boatload of sour, and there's no salt, which a sour beer requires a hint of salt to really bring it home for me.
The salt finishes it out at the end, and it
if
doesn't
you
have
don't,
that.
if you don't do your sour beer with a little bit of salt, I don't like your sour beer.
Yeah.
So,
At least I can't put it on the upper echelon.
so would we have been better off to like just finish the entire beer then make a rating?
You tell me when you finish the beer if it changes your mind, but
I'm just saying because
I think
I'm 4/5 of the way through mine, so I have a.
I take that last sip. I think the wine jumps out. I thought so at the beginning. It jumped out. Now, though, it's the dominant flavor for me is the wine because the sour somehow is blending with the grape in a way that I like. With the citrus backbone, I'm digging it. I can honestly tell you if I was at a brunch and like my wife was ordering mimosas and I saw this on the menu, I'd order a pint of this before a mimosa. And I love mimosas, but
So you're saying this is a brunch beer?
yeah, I think the Sunday Feels is spot on. I think I bought into the marketing. I think that absolutely has happened because it's making me go, ooh, I'd like this on a early on a Sunday.
Yeah.
I dig this beer. I dig it a lot. I don't dig it 4. I can't go 4.
Yeah.
It's just too high. But if there was a 3.75, which I know we've outlawed, I would give this that. I'm going to go 3.5 only because of the shock, but it's a borderline 4 for me. I'm going to go 3.5. This thing's going to net out at like a 2.75 and get panned by the collective. I like it a lot. 3.5. I would actually buy this again.
If I ever went to brunch, I might be inclined to buy this over a mimosa for sure because I'm not a big mimosa fan.
Yeah, because if you're sitting there with a bunch of ladies,
It's got enough sour that I'm like, ooh, that's refreshing. But that little bit of weird citrus and wine thing, I dig. I think this could be done better.
yeah.
I mean, you guys clearly believe it could be done better. But I actually like it. I think that's kind of cool. That's something very different. I've never had anything like it.
It's definitely
unique.
standalone.
Yeah.
Like you're not like, oh, this is like this or this is like that. This is its own thing.
Yeah, and I kind of respect that I
Yeah.
didn't hate it and it was a standalone. So it's a 3.5, 2.5, 2.5. That's not going to cut it in the grand scheme. So we cannot put the stamp on this beer. But I would say early in the morning on a hot day, you just might like it.
Look,
if you're going to have a beer with the guy at the bus stop,
here's the deal. We always ask you guys, and we beg you guys, and I yell and cuss. We need the interaction. This is a give and take thing. We love the listeners. We do this deli. We enjoy it. We know a lot of you guys enjoy it. Maybe somebody buy this and try it and let us know what you think. Like I'd read it. Email us. I'd like to know other people's take on this. This is one I'd
It's
like
a weird
to know.
one.
It's
a
so
weird
weird.
one.
I'd like to know.
but to y'all's point, I think only having this one, if I was to walk into a bar anywhere, brunch, whatnot, and actually somebody gave me a pint of this, didn't know what it was, immediately after I drank it, I could say that's a Dogfish Sunday Feels. I don't think there's anything like this. Period.
I think officially this is
This
one
is-
that you guys will always know in a blind taste
and that's not a bad thing.
because it is very unique. But I dig it. But it does not get the stamp of approval of Inside the Pallet House Deli.
I like that they did it.
Yeah, I've never seen
Yeah.
anyone try a Viognier grape. Hey, can you look up what the grape of Virginia is? So I don't, because I feel like an asshole. I think it is the Viognier grape.
I think it's Welch's.
Stupid Virginia.
Viognier.
That's the grape of Virginia?
Yeah.
That's a Virginia beer, people.
What's the grape of
It's
Arizona?
considered Virginia's signature grape.
In Chicago, in D.C.
The grape of Arizona is the saguaro cactus.
The prickly pear.
The grape of Chicago is the Malort,
The Malort grape.
and the grape
Imagine
of
some Malort wine.
and the grape of DC is arguing.
So just so you know, there's only 4 grapes that they say make Virginia. Like, there's 4 Virginia grapes that make Virginia wine, which is Norton, Petit Mansing, Petit Verdot, Is that the
Verdot.
word? Verdot, sorry, and the Viognier.
Viognier.
Viognier. Those are the 4 that
Boom.
are Virginia grapes that make all the wine. Virginia wine.
There you go. Oh my God! All right, so I
You
feel,
guys just learned something.
so check this. I was at a winery with the Duke. This was like a few months ago. So
yeah,
this
you
would-
are just the 2 of y'all, just guys' day out.
Went
Now
out, drove
we
out
know
there
why
in
you
the
split your
Miata.
shorts.
Yeah. Hello, Duke.
Grab your scarf, hop in the Miata. We're going for a ride.
Yeah.
No, so
You ever seen that cartoon where that guy picks up things with his?
Yes. What was that guy's name? That shit was funny. The Dutch cartoon. So we were out there, and they had a really good Viognier. We were at this winery called Upper Shirley Vineyard, and I kept calling it the Wagner. And if you look at how it's spelled,
yeah.
there's a G
Yeah.
in there, and there's an N. It's kind of like it
I
could.
mean, it's Viog
Looks like vinegar.
Nier.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I was calling it the Wagner, just joking around, and but I was kind of a little bit buzzed, and like I just kept saying
Yeah.
the Wagner. I was like, their Wagner is fantastic, knowing damn well it's the Viognier.
Oh, you were messing around.
Yeah. I know damn well it's the Viognier.
That's what I'd say if I was fucking it up all afternoon.
No. I clearly know. It's the grape of Virginia, dude. I would never forget that. I did have to have Stu check, but I was literally saying the Wagner, like joking around, and the Duke was going up to get it, and he was like, "Hey, man."
Oh no, you teed him up.
I teed him up, and I didn't mean to, like, by any means.
Subliminal.
You know what I
Just-
mean?
you
Like,
kept saying
I
it over and over
I
again.
assumed everybody in the group
Knew the joke.
knew that I was just being a dumbass, but he doesn't drink wine. So I'm standing
He drinks Dukes.
so I'm standing behind him, and he's in line to get wine, and his wife had asked him to get, she was like, "Hey, get a bottle of this. It's really good." And so he's up there, and then I see him standing at the table because everything's outside COVID, and he's like, "Hey, and let me get a bottle of that Wagner to go."
No.
And the dude looks at him, and then he's like, "Gotcha." And like,
Because he's heard it before.
Yeah, he pieced it together, and then he pulls it out and he puts it there. And I just my head just dropped. I was like, "Oh, I did not mean to make the Duke look like an asshole. Like, I feel so bad
But
right
thank God
now."
for the guy behind the counter,
Figured it out.
or
yeah.
otherwise
he's heard
he'd been
it
like,
before.
"Excuse me."
He's
And
heard
so
it before.
I didn't want to embarrass him like anymore. So like I didn't want to say anything like in front of the dude. And we get back to the tent, and then I was like, "Okay, now I want to embarrass the shit out of him in front of his wife." So I'm like, "Dude, it's pronounced Viognier. I'm so sorry." I was like, he just went up there. The Duke.
What did he
just went
say
up.
when you told him?
He was like, "Well, you've been calling it Wagner all day," and
Yeah.
I was like, "I know, because I was just messing around. Like I thought everyone knew." I
I'm
was
telling
like,
wine jokes. We're at a winery. Get with it, Duke.
No,
I
the
mean-
Duke walks up and says, "Can I get some of that Wagner?" And the guy's like, "Sure, let me turn it up." And it's a symphony playing in the background.
Yeah, exactly. And I felt so bad. It's like, this is a guy who I literally called.
Isn't that the guy? That's a German composer,
I
like
believe
symphony composer.
Yeah, I
Wagner,
believe so.
Yeah.
I thought it was an author, but now that you say it,
Vonnegut.
I don't know.
because-
Yeah, I don't know.
Vonnegut.
Vonnegut.
Kurt Vonnegut is the author. Wagner is
Wagner's
the
the
symphony.
composer. There you go. Yes, I was just. But this is coming from a guy who, like, I still have a hard time saying Ramada because as a kid I always called it the Ramadan.
Yeah.
And like
It's one of those jokes that just sticks. Like you can't.
That became a
untrain
joke.
yourself.
Like I said Ramadan forever. I'd be like, oh, we're
So I
saying
only
it's the
stay there one
Ramadan.
time a year.
Yeah, but so as a kid I always called it Ramadan. Well, my
Yeah.
family always made fun of me, so they just embraced the Ramadan instead of Ramada. And my brother once jumped in a cab. And they were like, "Where are you staying?" And he's like, "The Ramadan." And they were like, "Where?" He's like, "The Ramadan."
Yeah, you
I
know.
was like, "Shit!" I mean, Ramada.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But it has become ingrained in my family. Like,
Dude, that's like my younger brother. When he was probably 6 years old. We were driving down the road, and church rolls by, and he's like, he used a word that we didn't expect him to use, and he used the word espionage. I was like,
Okay.
how does a 6-year-old know the word espionage?
yeah.
He either heard it, but the church said Episcopalian.
Same thing.
He's like, we gotta go to the. He's like, look at the espionage church. What are you talking
Quite
about?
quite beautiful this time of year. No one looks each other in the eyes there.
Exactly.
Thought about you the other day. I went and rode way down Route 6 out west, going west.
Okay.
And there's a winery out there called Elk Island.
Yeah,
I haven't been
I
there.
didn't know if you'd ever gone out
No,
there.
that's a new one on
That's
there.
past Haydensville.
It's less
I
than
was
an
just out
hour
there-
from here.
Yeah, I was just out that way the other day.
You just go up 288, get on Patterson, going west, and
keep
it's
going.
like 20 minutes from up the road.
Oh, I'll check that out.
Yeah, that's just.
I don't know because that's a good Miata ride.
Yeah, it's a fun ride.
Yeah, no, that 6 going out that way. I will actually take
Past a
that.
lot of prisons.
You do pass a
Yeah.
couple. Yeah, right on the river. Beautiful
Yeah.
prisons. If you're going to be in a prison, that's the one.
I know a
Yeah.
dope route that you can take that crosses the river right by the prisons, and it's this tiny little 1-lane bridge that it's when I say 1 lane,
Dude, I did
like your car, like
I did it all the time.
it's crazy, and it's got no railing on it.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And you just have to pay attention because it's not always open. The
Yeah.
prison can close it at any time. It's a public road, but the prison can. I've done it a couple times. It's pretty cool
That prison needs a wall.
because otherwise you got to go to like 522 or keep.
Yeah, I know
going up.
exactly
Yeah.
what you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Hey, you brought up White Claw a little bit ago.
Yep.
You seen the new White Claw?
The Surge.
The Surge.
Yeah, it's not crushable.
It'd be better if it was White Claw with Surge in it.
No, I don't.
the energy drink.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Respect that.
Yeah, no, I did see an ad for it. It's 8%.
Is that what
Yeah.
it's called? The Surge or the
Yeah.
Crush or what is it
Surge.
called?
Surge. White Claw
White Claw
Surge.
Yeah,
It's
no.
got
When you
3
said it, it
flavors.
sounded right, but I wrote Crush. I'm so in my head. But you had brought up White Claws just before the deli.
Yeah, no.
So the Abacus had sent something in about that.
I'm excited.
And I think young Jimmy sent something in about that as well. Like,
Nice.
both of them being like, have you seen this white? So it's an 8% White Claw
Yeah.
that comes in a 16-ounce can.
Oh, are they 16 ounces?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
They
Like,
got
this is not some skinny can.
That is great for pool drinking.
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
They got 3 flavors, I think.
What are
White
the
Claw
flavors? Can you look them up?
Surge.
Because
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Diesel.
Surge.
Yeah, there's Diesel. There's Fireball. And then there's Regrets.
Crushable.
Regrets is my favorite.
Crushable has
flavor.
got to be in there.
Let's see
Yeah.
here. Flavors are blood orange.
Blood.
Like blood orange.
Just call it blood.
Yeah.
Let me get a crushed blood.
There we go. Bruh.
Let's see here.
I'm in the 3 foot. I don't want to get out. Throw me one of those crushed bloods.
All right.
You'll
Blood
just-
orange and cranberry. Those are the only
Oh,
two
that's weak
Come
sauce.
on, dude.
varieties.
How's that
Yeah.
3
There's-
flavors?
that
Is
sounds
one
like
of them?
2. I'm
Hold
not
on,
a
no,
big
no.
counter.
It's blood, comma
Yeah,
orange.
no,
comma,
my bad. I thought there
comma.
were 3. No, but I've been doing the.
I'll take a blood.
I've been trying the teas.
No Crips.
Like they've been putting the flavors with tea. And
Yes, yes, a lot of
the
people have been
Truly
hyping
and
those
all,
up.
Like all of them are doing
With tea?
It's it's white
I haven't seen this at all.
Oh yeah,
iced tea, but flavored.
Alcoholic iced tea?
the Abacus was talking about
Yeah,
that. It's
it's-
basically an Arnold Palmer.
Yeah,
White
like different
Claw.
flavors. Yeah.
That sounds interesting.
It does.
I still miss the White Claw Pure.
Ugh,
Me and my buddy Matt would drink those all the time. We love those.
I found those so foul.
So
I love them.
It was a hit tonight at my awards deal for my real estate company. one of the mortgage guys was providing the alcohol. We had awards. It was all
And
good.
he had
Everything was
White
great.
Claw Pures.
He brought White Claws. He brought Maker's Mark, Tito's. He had everything for everybody. And we're hanging out doing the awards.
Better
ceremony.
get a bucket.
But I went and got the typical glass of ice, a little bit of 2 shots of Tito's, and then did a lime White Claw right in it with 2 squeezes of lime.
This is funny
Yeah.
that you just said that.
and
because
everybody
just,
was like, "What are you doing?" I was
just before the show
that's-
started, Troy told me that he puts a little shot of vodka in
Yep.
his White Claws.
Yep.
like, "I mean, it's seltzer water. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it's
seltzer
I
flavor,
understand.
It's got a
I
little
just-
flavor, but
It's never occurred to me to spike my spiked seltzer.
Well, I mean, think about what you do with vodka. Like you pour vodka over ice, and then you add tonic or seltzer and a lime.
right.
I get the logic,
Yeah.
but it just seems. Doesn't it
And if
taste
you get the-
gross?
No, it'll
You
get
can't even.
You can't tell.
So
Now, 2 shots per one is. I mean, that's pretty strong. Like I'll
Yeah.
do 1 shot.
I had
okay, hold on. So you guys are putting a little bit of booze in your White Claw.
Booze. Yeah.
Now, if you just
I
get the
looked at
crush,
it the other way around.
or not the crush, if you get the surge, does that get you to where you're trying to go?
I think at 8%, I wouldn't have to add the vodka.
I mean,
So
White
you
Claw,
guys
White Claw's
are the-
5%.
Yeah.
So you're the demo. You guys are the demo.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. 'Cause
Interesting. And how do you feel about it being a 16-ounce can versus a slim can?
I like it.
That's a big deal to me.
Yeah.
I hate a slim can.
Yeah.
The White Claw still makes the regular. They make 16-ounce cans of the regular stuff all day long too.
Sure, but you buy those individually.
Yeah.
Right,
These are
yeah.
going to come in 12 packs.
You know
I'm
what I hate
assuming.
about most of these is that like they're all in mixed variety packs.
It's very
And, like,
hard to find.
There's
this.
every mixed variety pack I've ever bought. I dislike one flavor.
Yep.
Where like
I agree.
to me like any one of them across the board, any one a citrus or a lime, I'm buying. So if I could buy a 12-pack or a case of limes,
done.
done.
Yeah, because
I agree with
But you can't do that anywhere.
Because I went into Kroger the other day and I was like, "Holy shit! There's a case, a 24-pack of White Claw." I was like,
I've never seen a case.
Me
Oh, yeah.
either.
"I was like,
Suitcase
sold.
style.
Let's get it." Maybe saved $3 between buying
Yeah.
a couple packs, but it's black cherry, mango, and watermelon. And of everything, watermelon gets a little bit sweet, but I hate mango. So there's
Yeah, I don't
always
like- I don't
one
like mango
flavor.
either.
And I don't like the black cherry, so like that whole
Yeah.
case can go screw.
Yeah, there's 8.
Yeah.
There's
Just
8
give me lime.
There's 8.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, just
Exactly.
give me
Do
lime.
lime or citrus. Most people like citrus flavors.
What is
that
a
orange?
citrus?
Is that
That's a
orange?
good question.
Is it orange?
Anyone who
Apple?
didn't know what kills me? Anyone who didn't listen to last episode is like, these guys are all morons.
Yeah, they're all-
No, allow me to take it back. Only Stu's a moron. He thought
Go
that-
back and listen.
He thought only citrus was orange.
Orange.
So there, I gotta qualify that because I don't want us to look stupid.
Stu's like, thank you.
I stayed at a Ramadan last night.
yeah.
Bowflex.
Yeah, we would never do anything stupid.
I was drinking Wagner up at the Ramadan.
I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say Bowflex.
Thank you, Stu. I haven't been on the Bowflex in a while. Hence the extra 13
so
pounds. And
says your boxer shorts.
yeah, so says my trash can of pants and underwear.
But if you need some sunglasses,
He's hulking right out of his...
Drop Bowflex in the Nectar, and you
Yeah.
will get 20% off, which is heartbreaking.
I have gotten some screenshots from some people who've bought them.
Oh,
I saw
people
that,
are
yeah.
dropping Bowflex. No, these listeners love Nectars and hate me.
They love the Nectar code, but they won't take the 5 seconds to hit the rate and review button. Like, it's crazy. They'll go to Nectar and enter all the data they need to enter.
Which is why I think if I give people $5
yeah.
to share it, maybe they will.
Yeah, but Nectar costs you money, and you get a huge savings with our discount code, but literally $0 to rate and review. Like,
But if I get this thing going and we put it out on the Facebook page, right? People put it out. They get enough downloads. They could get Nectars.
yeah,
Like,
true.
because then we could send them $50.
Yeah,
And then they get 20% off $50
Yep.
pair of glasses. Boom.
it's ridiculous.
we'll see.
It's simple.
We'll see how it works.
Yeah, which means I know I haven't cleared this with you guys. It all came up tonight, kind of
Yeah.
organically. So I'm gonna need money if this works.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna need you to come in on Saturday.
Dude, you're gonna have some more houses.
Yes. Stu, start writing some form letters to all the people in the neighborhood.
Ely says you've been missing a lot of podcasts lately.
I wouldn't say I've been missing them.
Yeah. Well,
do we get fined for not
I
showing
was gonna
up?
say that's how we make our money back. We just start levying fines left and right.
Yeah,
Brendan, you and I are great.
Actually, next week, that podcast looks like there's going to be fines delivered for all three of us. No, not Stu. Stu was the only one who could do every night.
Yep.
You and I were causing problems. But don't worry, guys. We'll figure it out.
But that's for. Never mind.
We're good. All right. So you know what's not good?
We cannot show up unless Stu do it.
You know what was heartbreaking for me?
What?
This past week, the three of us, let me take a step back. Stu.
Oh, we're clapping.
This
Stu?
is not good.
Chris from the Teach Me Babe podcast had a birthday last week. Happy birthday, Chris.
Yeah.
Oh.
And we all go out to Hardywood to celebrate with him. And Stu, so Chris has not hidden his feelings about Stu.
Oh gosh, they got a little running for you going.
If you go back to the first year anniversary,
So 5 years ago.
Chris actually let Pat have it, and it made for the most awkward moment of the 1 year
in front of his
anniversary.
face.
Yes, they had
To
it.
his
They had
face.
it out on the microphones, and it was hilariously fun.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it.
It reminded me of like an old school radio
Radio War.
feud.
Yeah.
So Chris from the Teach Me Babe podcast always has an issue with something on this podcast. He loves us. He listens to it. He's a loyal listener. But I think part of him listens because he hates.
Well, if you give him something, if you tee something up for him, he will call you on it and mock you relentlessly.
Right.
Nonstop.
Yeah.
Kind of
But
his MO.
Any publicity is good publicity.
Totally
Bad or
agree with
good.
you. So he hates that Stu ends every episode with peace out.
And Stu knows this.
And he has even left reviews
Yeah.
because he'll do that, dude. He will literally get sign up a new account just to leave a review that's like, if Stu says peace out one more fucking time. And so
Yeah, y'all need to be like Chris from Teach Me Babe because he's done like 10 reviews
yeah.
on various
There you go.
devices.
So Stu for his birthday showed up with a headshot framed.
No, I haven't heard this story.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
No.
Oh, this is beautiful.
No.
So Stu shows up and he's like, "Hey man, happy birthday," and hands him something, and he opens it up and it's like a matte framed picture of Stu, and it's signed, and it's like to Chris, my biggest fan,
No, it's to my number one fan.
to my
Chris.
number one fan. Peace out.
ITPH. in the back.
ITPH. And so I gotta give credit, dude. It was so
That
well
is
done.
glorious.
And so you see Chris looking at this thing, and he's like, "Son of a bitch!"
It was.
Dude, I can't believe y'all didn't tell me this.
Well,
just
that's
happened.
why
That is
that's why we
awesome.
do the show.
That is
yeah.
awesome.
Dude, I was rolling. I'm like, wait, what did you just get? Because he's like, man, he's like all pissed off. I'm like, what did you get? Let me see what you got. And I'm looking at it, and it just, peace out. Oh, yes.
That was
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah.
It was so well
almost,
done.
It almost didn't happen because Chris's deal was during a time frame that I was working. I had to work, and I was like, please tell me. I sent Brendan a
I
market.
hung out with y'all later that night. You
Yeah.
didn't bring this up.
No, I honestly, I guess it must have slipped, but it was the highlight of my day to see Stu hand him this as a
Stu, who
gift.
came up with that idea?
I did. I came.
No, Stu. Who came up with that idea? Someone gave that to you.
If you give Stu time, he's just not good on the spot.
Yeah.
So that's
Dude,
I
that's
had
a
I had-
great burn.
I had
dude.
a second to think about it.
That's an
I
epic
did
burn.
It was
I did
beautiful.
I was sitting that morning. I printed it up last second, did the whole 9 yards, got it all ready to go. And Chris is like, "Hey, we're hanging out in Hardywood, 3 to 5." And I was like, "Fuck, I got to work till 5." I didn't even think I was going to be able to get it to him because otherwise it wouldn't have the same impact. But yeah, I was just
It was beautiful.
And you had to be
here
in
you
the
go.
crowd, like doing it one-on-one. Like,
It was
Oh, yeah.
beautiful.
one-on-one. He just looked at me and said, "Fuck this," crushed it up
Yeah,
and
yeah,
punched me in
yeah.
the face.
Yeah, but no, it was with the crowd, presented as a gift,
that is awesome.
threw it back in his face.
Now, what Chris has to do is, ironically, put that on a wall in his house.
He said that he was
That way,
gonna,
when people like come over, they're like, "Who is this and why is it?"
he said he was going to put it in his studio so that when he's doing the podcast, he sees
Yes.
it.
Yeah,
And
you
his
got-
wife was like all in.
Yeah,
So it was good.
Kind of like
That's
Dan,
awesome.
Like Dan Patrick collects things, puts them on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
Chris
I
is
thought, Stu, this was well played. But that was not why I brought up that day. It's just as soon as I brought up that day, I remembered. Oh my gosh, the best part of that day. Because the worst part of that day was I had just gotten a haircut, and my barber had really
Yeah, what'd you do to that guy?
he really buzzed me. I mean, he really like
You pissed him off?
no, dude, he's a high and tight. And no, here's the worst part about it. When I left the barber chair, I looked at my haircut and I said, "Dude, I think we've got it." I was like, I love this. I was like, it is. Stu, is that a photo of
You had
it?
to comb it over.
Yeah.
Is
I
that
was over here later that
That's
night.
not good.
And
And then you combed it.
So when I saw it, I was
Yeah.
like, I really like
you
this.
thought he nailed it?
It's like super high and tight, and I've got all this long hair on top, but I have nothing on the sides. And I was like,
That's what all the young kids have now.
I look kind of badass. I was like, I really dig this, especially with like how much weight I've lost. It's really bringing it out in my face. And so I was like super psyched. And I even told my barber when I left, I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Let's rock that.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool.
High fives and all.
Yeah. Like
Hey,
psyched. Extra tip. Like, boom.
Yeah.
And then he gets to Chris's party and the gel wears off.
Oh, man.
Yes. And apparently what I have up here is a ludicrous comb over look,
Yeah.
unbeknownst to me. So the front
It's
of it,
in the back.
the front of it looks fine, but in the back there's like no hair all the way up to the top of my
All the
head.
way up to the, crown.
But I haven't cut. So the stuff that starts on the very left of my head
That
has not
comes to
been
the
cut.
right,
It combs
yeah.
all the way over to the other side. And since the pandemic, he's just been cutting it when it gets to the other side. So it's quite long.
So
Yeah.
for our listeners out there, just to describe it, I would say if you remember what a rat tail looks like, imagine it
Yes.
starting at the
Yeah.
top of your head on the backside. It's
Yeah.
a high-end rat tail.
Yeah, I'm basically bald on the back of my head, which the back of my head has a tremendous birthmark that goes up from the base of my neck all the way up. Then when I have hair, you don't see.
Yeah.
So I'm full birthmarked, giant birthmark from the nape of my neck all the way up to the top of my head where he
And
shaved
your
it.
barber's cut your hair 100 times. He should know that.
Oh, the first time he cut my hair, he goes, "Oh, dude, I think I've irritated something." And I was like, "Yeah, you've irritated me by calling out the fact
Yeah,
that
yeah,
we
yeah.
all see my birthmark."
Oh, no. I mean, we saw Brendan when we saw him that day. I was like, he had a haircut, shaved, clean, no beard, nothing. He's 10 years younger, looking good.
I was
And then
psyched because
and then he
all I
turns
see is the
around.
front, and then all of a sudden,
Yep.
everyone behind me is laughing at me. I'm like, "Can I get in on the joke?"
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
We've already seen Stu present the thing, and they're like, "I don't know how to tell you this, dude, but you look like you have a horrible comb over in the back, like it's just falling down." And they're like, "If I had to describe it, I'd say it's a rat tail." And I was like,
Yeah.
"What are you talking about?" Well, the gel had come out, and this huge piece of hair that comes all the way over is just hanging down all the way to the back of my neck. Everything's shaved except for like a half-inch thick strand of hair that's coming down like
it's
a rat
about
tail.
an inch and a half, 2 inches maybe.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
It's
and your
brutal.
barber knew that because it hangs perfectly in the middle. It's not like side. He knew what he was doing.
Oh, but he
No, but when you brush it all,
he had it
Yeah,
gelled
when you-
up.
Right.
Yeah.
When you brush it,
So
it
when I
looks
left,
fine.
it was fine. What I didn't realize is if I'm exposed to wind for
Yeah.
maybe 10 minutes, it just flops.
yeah.
And it
And
is
gravity's fighting. You're fighting gravity.
fighting gravity and wind.
Yeah.
I can't do this. I can't go in a pool with this haircut.
Yeah.
I can't go in the river. I can't do
You
anything.
can go in a pool, but you
So,
can't get your hair
we
wet.
all we all
Don't splash
yes.
me.
we
Don't
all
splash
we all saw this there that day at Hardywood, and to a T, all of us just wanted to hand him a skateboard. It's like,
Yeah, it's like
go for it.
It's like a
You literally, my kids have that cut. Like everything on top is long, and then around the sides and around the back, all at the
yeah, I have a child's cut.
it's all buzz with a 2. Except yours is even shorter than a 2.
Dude, mine was like, because he was like, "We should go skin,"
Yeah.
and I was like, "You know what? Leave a little scruff on the sideburns. I want them to know
Yeah.
it's there." And he's like, "Okay, you're the idiot."
Let that birthmark pop. Know what I'm saying?
Dude,
Yeah.
And that birthmark pops. Like I didn't even know it went up that high. Like I've
Yeah.
had this birthmark my entire life.
Well, you don't see the back of your head.
I didn't know it went all the way up to the roof of my head.
Dude, it's like a couple times I've had my hair shaved that tight every once in a while, and I didn't realize how, for me, it's my scar, how high my scar went up.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
can
because
see
you had that
shit.
neck surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes.
It's always like, I look like that from behind? It sucks.
Yeah, well, I look like Jim Duncan walking backwards.
Oh, I got scalped yesterday too. I mean, I got a
Anyone who's
short haircut,
outside
too.
of the area, look up Jim Duncan.
Who retired?
Yes.
Yep, he retired like a week
Yeah,
ago.
R.I.P.
2 weeks
Jim.
ago. Now it's all Andrew Frieden all the time.
So I looked like an asshole, and I got clowned the whole time. And now my kids, because they heard everyone making fun of me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
they
they were
keep
there.
coming up and grabbing my hair and pulling it down in the back. So, like, I can't keep enough gel in the back.
Are you going to go back to him and tell him to fix it?
I don't know. I don't know what to do. It's like, I've been trying to figure this out. Like, how do
cut
you
it?
Oh, I'm thinking I might. Well, I don't.
I don't think he's going to cut it because his wife can like get behind him and grab it and pull it.
You son of a
Oh,
bitch.
my God. You've been watching them? Not cool, dude. That's their bedroom time. That's private time.
That is private time.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
How dare you.
Let me back up.
And I hope you're not judging. This is a judgment-free zone.
This is a judgment free. Thank you, Troy.
Yeah.
Even though I've been judged for 7 years.
Starting now.
Now, judgment free zone. Sweet.
Go.
We made it. Yeah, it's butt awkward, dude. Like, this thing is.
Good thing is you don't have to see it.
No, I don't. But now I know it's there. So, like,
So you're always like checking on it.
I am constantly walking around, like rubbing it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm constantly, which takes the product out,
Yeah,
makes it fall down. I'm making it worse. It's
Yeah.
becoming a whole thing, man. It's not a good look. Like, I see
Brendan's the
people-
guy at staff meetings leaning the chair against the wall.
Oh, I'm
Yeah. His
head's
constantly,
against the wall.
I'm constantly trying to stay in front of people. Like, I'm
Yeah, yeah.
pivoting,
Rotating.
so I can stay in front. Because don't get behind me. It's all just birthmarks and rat tails.
You're like a basketball player, like on defense. You're just like constantly in motion, rotating to the
Yeah.
other side. Like
I'm boxing SOBs
yeah.
out, dude, all day. No, I don't want to box them
Yeah.
out. What am I doing? Oh, you see, I can't even do it right.
yeah, bad haircuts are rough, man. I went in yesterday and been going to the same place for a while because they just allow walk-ins and they're always there. And I've gotten a lot of good haircuts, and my beard was getting really crazy, so I got a haircut and a beard trim. And the girls, and I thought it looked good when it was all happening. Then I got home and I'm like, gosh, she really went short in every direction. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, I just realized you said that like for a while. 33 years. Miss Lynn has been cutting my hair for 33 years.
Yeah, you've been going with the
That's
same
nuts.
same woman for a long time. Your longest relationship with a woman is with your barber.
You're welcome, Chris. Just got the burn back.
Peace out.
That's sad.
The more Troy laughs, the worse I feel.
She was a good-looking lady. She's a good-looking lady.
Did you just drop a was?
She was.
Do you go to your barber because she was and or is attractive?
I'm telling you, when I first moved to Richmond, Stu
I was
goes,
14.
Stu
She
goes,
was
you got to
ni-
check out my barber. Like, this is a good. I went
There's
and
a
got
lot
my
of
hair.
great looking barbers out there, but I would rather have a good haircut than a good
Oh,
looking
she gives
barber.
a great,
great
haircut.
Yeah,
Have you seen Stu's haircut?
She
He's
gives
been rocking
great
for
hair.
33 years.
He's had said haircut from said
yeah.
Lynn.
I've been with Lynn.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, twice. Then I started going to what was his name? The cowboy boots.
Oh, Dave.
Yeah. Then I started. Then once I was
And
with
Dave
Dave.
had a heart attack.
No going back.
Yeah, I like
yeah.
Dave. Dave wouldn't talk to you at all.
I say that, but then like
No, you would
I
have think
wouldn't
though.
follow anyone that long. Like I'd be like, I'm moving along.
It
like
was simple
I'm not-
though. I mean, she.
No, it's not because you got to schedule it. I hate scheduling haircuts. Like that's
True.
my problem. I just like the day I want a haircut, I'm going to get a haircut. Like
That is how I am. It doesn't creep up on me. I
Right,
went
but
I
would
look
you
at
like to-
myself and go, "Stop!"
But would you like to try and explain to somebody that haircut you got right now, new every time you go get it? Like, this is what I want.
Yeah, I want a rat tail. No, no, I don't want to explain this haircut to anybody.
No.
This is.
I mean,
This has been heartbreaking.
I've watched my barber age gracefully.
The worst part
I was
about
14.
it is
I was 14 and she was 19
That's awesome.
when she first cut my hair.
I was proud of my haircut until that moment. I was all laughing. at
it'll
Chris.
last a few weeks and then you get another haircut at the
Yeah.
end. I mean, who gives a shit?
No, because there's a whole problem in the back. Like, I have made a critical error throughout the pandemic of letting my hair grow too long and telling him, don't cut it until it reaches the other side. I've created a comb over effect.
Go get another haircut from someone different. Who cares?
I need to figure out.
You should do what
Larry.
everybody should do when you get a bad haircut, and you let it go too long, is just start over, take a one, buzz the whole head, let it grow
Yeah,
out.
that's
Fuck,
a
that
bad
is a
look. That's the
drastic-
worst look.
Where are you going?
What? I don't know, but I'm not.
I don't want to look at myself like that. It's like when I was complaining about my haircut yesterday. My wife was like, "Did you say anything?" I'm like, "No, I would never say anything to anyone who cut my hair. I'd be like, thank you, have a good day. I'm moving along. You can't put it back. Why yell at you? Why complain? Like,
It's
and
too.
You're right.
Well,
it grows. It grows back.
Yeah, it grows
What the
back.
hell?
if it's too short, you can't change it.
no,
If it's like
take off more. Yeah, you could ask for that.
like if one
Yeah,
side's
yeah.
longer than the other, hey, trim that up.
yeah,
Yeah.
we've always had that experience. I think all of us have had that experience where
Not you. You had the great haircut for 33 years.
I didn't say she got it right every time.
You did.
I would hope so. She's
No,
been cutting
I mean,
your hair
it's
for
like she
33
gets-
years.
It just depends. She has moods.
She has an off day. That time of the month. Is that what you're saying? That's sexist.
That
dude.
is sexist.
I'm not gonna hear it.
I didn't say that.
No, that's fucked up, Stu.
Yeah. Well, we've
That
all
is.
had that. We've all had that where the barber comes around, whoever it is, and says, "Okay," looks in the mirror, says everything, and you're like, "No, take a little bit more off."
Stu says whoever
with
it
that.
is. It's Lynn. That's who it is.
Oh no, I've cheated on Lynn. I've gone to Great Clips a couple times.
You've cheated on it, but yet the relationship still works.
Yep. Don't let her find out.
Yeah. Don't let her see the picture in the
The
old
greatest
pictures in
thing-
your wallet.
Dude, when she first started cutting my hair, and then for 10 years after that, right where Hugh Knight Barbershop was, she was cutting hair, and she was also taking classes at that kickboxing place right next door. And she got fucking cut, and I was like, "Don't piss her off, because you will beat the shit out of you."
That's like
Yeah.
I used to go to the old guy, Mr. Adams on Broad Street downtown, and he cut hair at that location for like almost 60 years.
I
And-
respect those guys.
Yeah.
Except he cut hair for shit. Except it was like $10, and I worked on the block, so I could walk over there.
He's got a
anytime
Flowbee.
day.
Yeah.
And, no, he cut hair. Like if you walked in, you didn't tell him what you wanted.
You get a flat top.
Everybody get the same
But
cut.
almost a flat. Like it was like a guy's short cropped haircut.
He's a
like that's all
military
it was.
barber,
Yeah,
basically.
he cuts police fire. Like
Yeah. So he's like, you want a military cut, long or
yeah,
short? Those are your
exactly. Yeah.
options.
So like, I would go there because I worked. My office was on the block, and I could just walk over there whenever I wanted. And he worked 12-hour day. I mean, you could always get in there. And like, then I started going to salons, and then like every now and then I'd pop back in because I didn't want to like schedule. Because I used to try to schedule shit when I liked it, and then I just got too tired of that shit. And then I'd walk in and sit down and be like, "You let a woman cut your hair, didn't you?"
Ooh.
I could tell you let a woman cut your hair. Women don't know how to cut hair. Like, he would say that shit. I'd be like, ha, 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 ha. And
Please
he's
don't
flinging
cut
that
me. Yeah.
fucking straight razor around my ear.
Don't
like,
cut me.
Yeah.
That dude sounds a little rough.
He was 100 years old. What do you think he
Yeah,
sounds
yeah.
like? I mean,
Yeah.
he's a
He was
product of his
he was
time.
he was on the news, like
Yeah.
when he was getting ready.
Yeah,
to
probably
split.
for some horrific shit.
The best haircuts were the ones when I was in the Navy, were the 3 or 4 guys on the ship that were training to be barbers.
But they would do it on the side.
And no. It was like if you had to go get a haircut, you went
Yeah.
to the barber on the ship. Well, there's only one barber for the entire carrier. The other people that are cutting hair are just like, we want to be barbers.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're just going to try.
Same cut every time.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
Yeah, 500 dudes, same cut. And 10 women, same cut.
Yeah. There's not a pair of scissors to be found. It's
Yeah.
all just clippers.
Yeah.
But the funny
Which
thing-
is what my dude did this time. I noticed he never took out the scissors.
Oh, wow.
And when he was
Oh.
when he was finishing up, I was like, that is weird that the scissors never came out.
You got to take scissors to the top.
I agree,
Yep.
but I think for some reason there were no scissors. We need to do like some layering. I think that's the word I need to drop on him.
That's
We need
the,
a layering.
Layering.
yeah,
Are we good over there, Stu? Troy, should we cut this?
I don't know.
No, I mean, we can keep going.
Nah, fuck.
But I was just going to say
I
that.
mean, I got to take a leak, but we can keep
Oh,
going.
I'm doing a dance.
Yeah.
I'm
You
doing
guys
a
go
dance.
ahead. Enjoy yourselves. Go out together. I'll just keep running.
Sweet Jesus, could I am
I kind of want to pull that trigger and see what happens.
All right, Stu,
What do you got?
do it.
All right, fine. So I know everybody's had the same kind of haircut, but as these guys are taking a leak, so yeah, they can't hear me. So just as you know, guys, they're out there doing their thing. This is the part of the show that you can turn off, go take a bathroom break yourself, come on back. But yeah, and for all the listeners out there, this is the scariest part of myself. This is the scary part. Do want to give a shout out to. No, I'm not giving any love. I'm not giving love. See, they can still hear you guys. They can still hear you. Keep it quiet out there. Yeah, it is the worst part. Who am I talking to? I'm just talking to the listeners. It's all dead air.
Was that you riffing?
No, I didn't riff.
You didn't do anything.
Yeah, I just let you guys be.
No.
Who am I talking to?
I can't wait to hear this back.
You know what you do in that moment? This is what you do. Just a little future.
I was getting ready to say a story, but then I heard him.
No, here's the future pro tip. This is what Troy does. And it always works. Do a nectar ad.
Well,
It's easy money.
Yeah.
It's easy money. Talk about sunglasses. Drop a Bowflex
actually,
code.
what I'm really looking forward to is Chris's comments on that 30 seconds.
Uh-oh.
I can't imagine what he did. In
I
that
didn't.
time.
I couldn't. I heard some.
Oh, I didn't say anything about Chris. I didn't say anything about anything. I was just like, I was getting ready to talk about the haircut, and then I heard you guys.
So
I was getting ready to drop a plug for
now
Lynn
you see,
and her haircut.
the thing is, you have to not listen to the chatter because it doesn't pick up on the mics. Like,
Yeah.
that's like the hardest part about when like people come in here and they're hanging out in the room.
Yeah.
And they're just like they're volleying comments.
But the mic doesn't pick it up.
You have to ignore everything there because they don't hear it.
Yeah.
It's so difficult.
Well, no, but
Because then they think you're being rude, but you're like, I'm trying to save.
I wasn't trying to be rude. I was just like, you can hear the stream just going.
You got that.
You
Flow-
could not
guys
hear that.
You got that Flomax going. Dude.
Well, I was this. I had the one.
Yeah, but the
off.
mics were not picking up.
Yeah, you
the
can't worry
stream.
about us. I'm always shocked. Like
Okay,
Bill,
so
Bill
I'll just
Burr
I'll
does
just give
that.
you a heads up.
Dude, that's crazy.
Don't ever do
what
that
it
to me again.
Yeah, exactly. It's awkward, isn't it? See, that's why.
I'll be honest. Like I got nothing. I was
No.
like, I had a story to tell, but I was like, no, that doesn't sound pertinent. So
It's hard.
let's roll
So
with it.
Bill Burr does his podcast. He calls it the Monday Morning Podcast.
Does he
And
do it by himself?
He literally
Yes.
only does it by
But he's a
himself.
stand-up
Talks
comedian.
nonstop.
Yeah, but
It's still hard.
it's crazy because he gets listened to like boatloads.
I love
of
Bill Burr,
downloads.
but he's fucking.
I
he's a
listen to his
comedian,
podcast.
and
I
he's-
hate it. I
Yeah.
hate it.
I used
Oh
to,
no,
and I can't listen
I've never heard his
anymore.
podcast. I'm saying I like his stand-up.
Sure, I don't know why people listen to his podcast because
Yeah.
it's one asshole
Yeah.
talking about whatever without any kind of feedback.
Well, think about it when like the three of us take a sip of the beer at the same time. Like it's just a weird, awkward silence.
But
Yeah.
I think the listeners would probably figure out that's what we're doing, though.
Oh, they get it. Our listeners are very forgiving. That's why
Yeah.
and our listeners. I love all of y'all. I really do.
except the ones that don't
No,
rate
I
and review.
really wasn't prepared for that moment because I'm standing here in a 3-piece suit. and
I know you,
I'm
you
like,
but you were like, I got this. I was like, oh,
yeah.
That's a
Oh, go for
two-piece.
it.
You don't have the
Allow us-
jacket.
Allow
The
us to
jacket's in the
take you
car.
down a peg. Like it is more difficult than you think. And Troy
Yeah.
and I, we do podcasts sometimes just the two of us, and like one of us has to go pee, and like
Yeah.
it's on.
It's
Like,
hard.
Good luck.
Yeah.
You gotta.
Yeah, but you
tell the
choose to
story.
do that because otherwise you could hit the pause button,
I
splice
did
it back together.
I can't today though because I don't have the overdub button on. Long story.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
We haven't hit the pause button in a long time.
And
That was
run,
that was something
No.
we used to do when we were starting off because we were so noob. Like it was like
I honestly thought about it the other day. I was like, I think I could almost do an episode by myself if I really had to. I would.
I
need,
think you could.
I would. Need
I don't
a-
think I could.
I would need a boatload of topics
Yeah.
to like, and I would have to just run through them because there isn't going to be anybody feeding in and
Yeah,
dropping
yeah.
something that
No
triggers a mind.
tangents going
Yeah,
off.
it would literally just be a flow.
You'd have to have
But
three
how
or four
many people
good
actually
stories.
have a one-man podcast?
No, it's very
Just,
rare.
I mean,
Bill
Burr's
Burr's the only one I know of.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's,
it's like-
not great.
Well, there's probably some that like if you write it out, like if you wrote a story, a narrative, and you just read that narrative.
Sure, if you're telling
Right.
a story.
Yeah.
Oh, you know who does? Mike Rowe, and he nails it.
But he reads the story, and then he has a guest come on.
But Mike
His
Rowe nails
producer.
it.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
nails it. That
I
dude,
saw the preview for his first show back for Dirty
Yeah,
Jobs.
they bring Dirty Jobs back.
good for him.
He's doing
But that dude, if you haven't ever checked out Mike Rowe's, but now lately he's been kind of like reading from his book or something. Or
He
telling
reads a
stories.
chapter from his book, and he has his longtime
Yeah.
friend / producer Chuck come on, and they talk, and it's great. And then he'll have a guest on every now and then, It's called The Way I Heard It. No.
Yeah. But he honestly would do one-man shows, and
Yeah.
that's the only one-man podcast that I ever thought was
You know
worth
where he
listening
learned?
to.
You know where he started off and really learned everything. The most recent episode talked about it. He started off on QVC,
Yeah.
working the midnight
really?
shift.
Yeah.
So like, talk about
A dirty job.
Well, no, running a monologue. You know, you're talking to a camera, selling a ring to a bunch of people at 3 a.m. Like,
Yeah.
that's where you. That's like that's
They would
putting your
take-
feet in the
they
fire.
They would take calls.
But
Dude,
you're-
all right, so here's a great
But
one.
you're
Who's calling
taking a
it?
call that, and he talks about it on the most recent podcast. It's like you don't know what you're getting,
No.
but you do know it's going to be weird.
Hey guys, see
like
if you can handle this.
it's
Yeah, we
not
got
going to
it.
be normal. It's not going to be normal.
So check this out. This is we got to wrap this episode up, but I do have a QVC story that's pretty funny. To me, at least, it was. My sister and I. It's later at night. Now we lived in Arizona at the time, so we're like.
You lived in Arizona?
I did a little bit of
Cool.
time. McCormick Ranch, Scottsdale
Nice.
guy. Yeah.
Okay.
So
First I've heard about
well, I'm glad I could teach you
it.
something.
Yeah.
Teach me, babe.
What did I learn today? Brendan was from Arizona.
Oh yeah, finish this lyric. So my sister and I were watching QVC. Now my grandmother was a known QVC addict,
Yeah.
and she could not sleep. My grandmother was famous for staying up late at night. She would drink tea. She wasn't a big drinker, so she would drink tea and smoke
That caffeine
cigarettes.
running through her.
And when she
Nicotine.
would drink tea and smoke cigarettes, she would then like nervously bake all night long. So if my grandmother would come and visit you, you would wake up in the morning to like a pie or a
Yeah.
cake
Or they're
or
gonna say like
some
high as shit.
I'm sure there was some of that. Like I could do an entire podcast on stories about my dad's mom. Like that woman has some stories, good and bad.
Speaking of, we need to have your dad back on here.
Dude, so my mom's going out of town for a little bit.
I love
Thinking
Chuck.
We might have to bring him in.
Yeah.
So, because he's going to be alone for like a month.
He definitely needs to come on here.
That's what I'm thinking too. Long story, but all right. So, my grandma would sit up all night. She would bake, smoke cigarettes, drink tea,
And
That
do
was her thing.
QVC.
and do QVC. She would order all kinds of shit on QVC because that was the channel that she would have running, like the Fox News.
For those that don't
CNN.
know, QVC was the first Amazon.
Yeah, quite literally. It was just,
Yeah.
And they would just sell a couple products hard as shit for
Yeah.
15 minutes and then move on to the
Yep.
next one and sell them hard as shit. So one night, my sister and I, it's getting a little bit late. QVC is on in the background, and no joke.
But you're not with your grandma.
No.
Yeah.
We're on the West Coast, so it's even later on the East Coast where she is.
Yeah.
So it's late at night, and it's just kind of late where we are. My sister and I have QVC on, and no joke, they're like going through like toys for Christmas. They're doing all these
Yeah, yeah,
Christmas
yeah.
toys.
Oh yeah.
And all of a sudden, it's like Mary from North Carolina comes on,
Oh, shit.
and it's my fucking grandmother.
So what year would this have been?
Probably 86,
86 was the first year QVC started.
87.
So
It was early.
like, for those that don't know, for those
No, you know what?
younger,
It was definitely like 88 because I remember Appetite for Destruction came out in 87, and it was a year later, and we were living in an apartment, so it was
Uh-huh.
88 or 89.
So for those younger listeners, and we do have some, like, they can't really wrap their head around like pre-internet and but literally, if you heard your grandmother's voice on TV in 1989, your head's exploding.
Oh no, this was
Yeah.
mind blowing.
Yeah.
And the best part about it was the kid toy segment about Christmas.
Oh,
and
so
my
you're seeing
sister and I
into
were-
the future.
So my sister and I were watching it because we were like, look at all these awesome toys. Like we were flicking through the channels. We came to this awesome, look at
Yeah.
all these rad toys. And so we're watching it like, oh man, I wish I could get that. Oh, how cool is that? And like
Yeah.
all of a sudden, all right, we're going to go to Mary from North Carolina. And it's my grandma.
Whoa.
She just shows, and you can hear her voice. Like it's
Yeah.
clear as it. We're like, no way. And she's like, I think my grandkids are going to absolutely love this. It's like, what are you doing tonight, Mary? I'm just baking a pie. And I'm like, yes, that is definitely Grandma. And so we're sitting there live hearing her go through.
Are your parents awake?
They weren't in the room. It was my sister
Yeah.
and I at the moment. I don't know what they were doing. But she's like, I'm getting that from my grandson. I think he's absolutely going to love it. Thank you so much. And my granddaughter's going to get this over here. And my sister and I high-fiving like, yes, it's exactly what we want.
That is
the
wild,
shit.
dude.
And sure enough, that shit showed up under the tree. It was awesome.
Did you tell her?
We never told her.
Really?
Yeah, we never fessed
Did you
up.
tell the parents?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
But we were like,
That's
Grandma
awesome.
was on QBC last night ordering stuff, smoking
dude.
cigarettes, making a pie.
That's hilarious. And then,
I've,
so
I've
you're
been,
like,
I've been typing furiously trying to see if I could find a recorded episode. I bet.
If we could find that, it would be a moment in time that would be
even
amazing.
if you didn't like recognize your grandmother's voice, which most of us would, you're like, Mary, North Carolina, baking. I know it's my grandmother. Like,
yeah, no, it was my
Yeah.
grandma, and then the validation came
yeah, when
when
you got
they
the toys.
showed up
Yeah,
under
yeah,
the
yeah.
tree because we were like, oh, this is such and such. Because she would sit up late and do all kinds of weird shit. Like she made me a Mr. T Cabbage Patch Kid.
Nice.
Like, and it looked just like a Cabbage Patch Kid because she would just sit up and do stuff like that. Like her
She
nervous
was
energy.
literally an insomniac.
She was
Like,
like me. I do all my weird
Yeah,
shit.
that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you hear my stories.
or you were
Yeah.
like her.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I do all my weird fidgety making stuff.
Yeah.
In the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Like the
Like
kids
put together
wake up.
pellet grills and things like
Exactly. So it's like I know where I get this from. This is not a mystery.
Runs
to
in
me.
the family.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a mystery to me that
Yeah.
insomnia and nicotine and booze and like that.
I'll give you 10 plus points if you know what QVC stands for.
I used to know.
And it's not big vocabulary words either.
Is it quality? Is the first word quality?
Yeah.
Okay.
Value channel.
2/3.
It's quality channel.
Yeah. Definitely channel. Quality.
Vision.
Quality, value, convenience.
You were right with quality value. Well, I think we got it.
Okay.
Nailed it. Look, thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Don't ever leave me again.
We've all. What have we learned?
Because the
Stu?
quality, the value, and the convenience went way down when you guys walked out of the room.
That is glorious. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We certainly do appreciate you coming back week
Why
after
that third
week.
person's so important.
It is. Do us a favor. Spread the word. Let your friends hear about it. Tell people about it. If there's an episode that you particularly love, let people know. Like Joe the Chef, you've reached out multiple times in the last couple of weeks saying that episode was perfect. Share that episode.
Yeah.
Get people to listen. We could certainly use the help. We've been doing this for now going on to the 7th year.
Starting our 7th year.
And while we have had good
Most people
growth,
don't
we
start
could-
7 episodes.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
That's the truth. Thank you guys so much. If you hadn't had a chance to head over to Nectar Sunglasses, you can drop the code. What was it? I don't remember.
What is it again? I can't. Oh yeah, Bowflex.
We'll get you 20% off of sunglasses. You can always find us on our YouTube. Well, actually, there is a YouTube page, but usually we don't hype that.
Was there like 5
Jeez.
videos on there?
Yeah.
And MySpace and AOL.
Find us on Instagram and Twitter at ITPH Podcast. And if you got money burning a hole in your pocket and you want to support the cause, you can hit us up at
Inside the Pallet House on Venmo.
and you can always find us on Facebook. And if you want to send topics, please do so at insidethepallethouse@gmail.com. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll be talking to you next week. Cheers.
Cheers.
Peace out.
That's for you, Chris.
Peace out.
That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think? Way too long.
If Stu hadn't brought up QBC, it could have ended 5 minutes ago.
I brought it up.
Oh, that was you?
Yeah.
My rat tail was in my ear.
Talk about Mike Rowe.
Ah, yes. Sorry, Stu.
That's on me. Check out Taylor Carson.
Fact.
Moonshiner.
Peace out.